All right. Sorry about the wait there, guys. Something came up there. Yes, we are back. I was doing a bit of streaming earlier there. Ate my dinner, fucking got some things ready. My cat is with me now, and we are ready to start our reaction stream for the night. It's going to be Horus Rising, most voted on for the stream there, for the poll, I should say. Horus Rising, Act 1, Path of the Luna Wolves. Now, we have obviously checked out a bit of Horus on the channel before, and some of the earlier years of the Horus Heresy as well, and we're also checking out, well, I guess we checked out Siege of Terra there as well, and that was very, very cool. But this is going to be, I think, about the earlier years, and it's also by Warrior Tier, not Amber King. So I know a lot of you guys were wanting a little bit of a switch up. We've been on Amber King for quite a while, and don't get me wrong, great run while we're on it. But we are starting to run out of Amber King videos. It's sad to say. So you know, Warrior Tier's also got some great ones, and Warrior Tier was also the first. Well, I guess the first reaction we did on stream was a Warrior Tier video. It was the Angron stream, if you guys remember. For those of you that have been there this long, yeah, that was great to check out by him. So I have nothing but great things to say about Warrior Tier. Anytime I've checked out his content, it's been fantastic. The work that they put into it. So I'm willing to check it out here today, guys. If you guys enjoy, make sure you guys hit the like button on that stream. And yeah, without any further delay, it's good to see you guys all here. Good to see you, Andrew. Good to see you, Battle Chicken. Thank you guys for tuning in, as always. I know it's the weekend here. Well, I guess it's not necessarily a long weekend, but weekend, and I know, you know, there's a lot going on this weekend, at least here in Canada, so I don't know how it's looking over in the other parts of the world, US, Europe, whatever have you, so I don't know how many people are going to be in for this stream here tonight, but yeah, we're in it, and of course, everybody can go watch it when it's up, you know, whenever they want to. So I might even be going to the park later tonight, checking out some live music. We'll see. Obviously, when this is done, we'll see. But yeah, without any further delay, guys, if you guys enjoy, leave a like, and yeah, let's get right into it. Captions are going to be on here. We're obviously going to make sure we leave a like on the video. We're already subbed up. 1440p, sick, full screen. Without any further delay, guys, let's get it. How you doing, Dasher? Good to see you here, man. Also, as always, pen, paper, we'll be writing stuff down. Anything I don't know, of course. It's always good to write stuff down. It keeps it relevant in my mind, you know, keeps it fresh. I already like the animation on this, wow. 6319 Sagmum Obscurus. Hold on, I want to read that. 001 M31s, fair enough. Oh, Abaddon. Oh.
Emperor. I am Captain Abaddon of the Luna Wolves First Company.
This is cool already. Wow.
Ambassadors. Our objective is to speak with you, not to attack you.
Emergency. Central control systems damaged. Rerouting power.
War Master. There is no hope of peace here. They've made their intentions perfectly clear. This is unfortunate. You know what must be done.
This is already sick. I'm liking this a lot.
Will be avenged, but bring the Emperor to me, alive. Understood, Lord.
Thousands of Astartes rushed intently out of their stormbirds, running ahead of the enormous titans that marched towards the palace.
Take the mortars out!
The automated mortars firing upon them were quickly destroyed by a plasma cannon, and the Luna Wolves continued their advance. Loken had not been in a full-scale battle since their victory on Ulanor, so it felt slightly unnatural as he shouted the new war cry for the first time.
Okay.
For the War Master!
Loken was just outside of the palace entrance now, and he surveyed his surroundings. The Luna Wolves, in their brilliant white armor, were forging ahead through the battle zone.
I have to say, right away, hold on, let me pause. I have to say right away, this is fantastic. You already have a multitude of different voice actors in it. The animation quality, the music quality in this already, fitting the scene, and all that. And I have to say, I'm already very, very impressed 2 minutes in. Not trying to pause right at the intro here, but wow. If it maintains throughout here, boys, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? We're in for it here. This is looking really fucking good already. Graduating soon? That's good to hear, Dasher. Yeah, man. Congratulations on that. Wow. Yeah, it's always good. Less to worry about, that's for sure. A lot less stress, you know?
Armor, were forging ahead through the battle zone.
Horus isn't awarded the title of War Master at this
To
point.
the east, you saw Captain Abaddon's first.
No, I'll write that down.
Their black armor antithetical to the rest of their brothers. And Loken thought to himself that Abaddon.
I'll make note to look at that
black
later.
legion.
Look into that later.
Captain Abaddon, 10th Company is making entry.
Loken, are you telling me this simply to gloat?
No, First Captain. I would never.
That was a joke, Loken. I'll see you inside.
Abaddon joking.
Now let's see if you can beat me to this Emperor.
Wow. That's the intro there? Nice. Wow. Daniel Williams. Horace Lupercal. Box in the Void. Okay, got some familiar names in here. Johnny Neal. Holy shit, a lot of people involved in this. Wow. Wow. Wow, holy shit. Look how many voice actors are a part of this, man. Holy shit. Wow. Man, I have to say this is a full ass production, you know. I wasn't expecting this. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, this is a full ass production for sure. All this music, by the way, in the background 100% is going to be copyrighted, so for anyone like watching later, I apologize for that. For you guys watching like right now, this is fucking sick. It's probably not going to sound this good later on down the line, but I have to say this is fantastic looking so far. This is a full quality like short film almost with what they did here. Not almost, it's 2.5 hours long. It basically is, with animation work and all that. Holy shit. Sound design, like my guy. A lot of people involved in this. Dan Abnett novel, Horus Rising. Fantastic author, of course. All he knows how to do is go out. Yeah, dude. Like, there's a shitload of people in this. Like, there is a shitload of people in this. Oh my god.
I'll tell you this story.
Decided to make himself known.
Enlighten me. I believe someone told you to ask me about this. Who was it?
That's right. It was Captain Torgaden.
Of course it was.
Is something wrong, Captain Loken?
No. Nothing at all. What is it that you'd like to know?
Well, Captain, if you have the time, I'd like to know everything. I'm a remembrancer, so my duty is to...
I know what your duty is.
I don't give a fuck.
As a remembrancer, Mercedy had quickly gotten used to receptions that ranged from less than friendly to outright abrasive.
Right.
Their commissions weren't all the same. Some were imagists, taking pics to visually document the crusade. Others were poets, seeking to write thought-provoking verses about the expedition. Whether poets, imagists, or documentarians, they all shared one thing in common. They all felt unwelcome on the vengeful spirit.
Yeah, damn straight. Man, hindsight is such a bitch. Yeah, they all felt unwelcome on the vengeful spirit. You know, I wonder if this is, I'm assuming this is like, you know, before everything, you know. It would really suck to be a remembrancer. I know from, you know, what we've seen, they really held out. They still did their diligence, you know, until the end, the inevitable end for a lot of them, right? Goddamn, dude, like, that's not where I would want to find myself at this time period, that's for sure. Like, normally you'd think being a remembrancer, man, that'd be kind of cool, you know what I mean? You're going around, you're documenting shit, you're getting to see like the histories of everything. You know, especially during the time of the Great Crusade, it's like only victory, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part, you're doing pretty well. Like, humanity's on the up, you know, and then suddenly, fuck, man. You met this remembrance before? Yeah, I know. I think I recall. Yeah. How you doing, Iron Duke? Good to see you here. Goes out all in his videos. He really does seem to. Hold on, I'm gonna move the camera over a little bit. I noticed it's a little out of frame there. There we go. My bad. Sorry about that, guys. Early on in the Crusade, it would have been all right, but after that, not so much. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, it would have been the sickest job. Like, early on during the Crusade, you know what I mean? But like, you know, the second Horus fucking, yeah, you know. After a certain time period, it stops becoming good and it starts becoming fucking traumatizing at the very least and deadly at the most.
Thing in common. They all felt unwelcome on the vengeful spirit. The Remembrancer Order was founded by the Council of Terra,
Yeah.
and the thought was that these artists and writers would document the reunification of mankind. Unfortunately, the Remembrancers found that they had their work cut out for them, as no one on the Crusade had any interest in cooperating with them.
Where would you like me to start, mistress?
Start at the beginning, Captain Loken. I know that the Emperor was killed, but why?
To avenge our fallen brother, Hastati.
And true to Mercedes' request, Loken started at the beginning. The Luna Wolves' flagship, the Vengeful Spirit, was caught in a warp storm, forcing them to reroute. After correcting their course, they came upon a system of 9 worlds. Their ships were spotted by a delegate from these worlds, and he wanted to know who they were and what they were doing.
Uh-oh.
This delegate revealed himself to be the Emperor of Mankind.
Oh.
He elaborated further, explaining that once he was shown the proper loyalty and devotion, that he would welcome them with open arms into the Imperium. Horus found the situation to be quite humorous, and sent the calm, collected diplomat, Hastati, to meet with this emperor.
Sorry guys, the kitty wants out. There we go. He has been appeased. Sorry about that.
Hastati, to meet with this emperor. In a regrettable twist of fate, however, Sejanus and his warriors were murdered by the Emperor's guard, the Invisibles.
But why did the Emperor kill Sejanus?
For speaking the truth.
Why would he kill him for simply telling the truth?
Because Sejanus explained to him that there was another emperor, the true emperor of mankind, beloved by all. And this false emperor viewed this as a contradiction that he was unwilling to accept.
What happened next? Is that when Horus killed him?
Loken glared at Mercedy, visibly uncomfortable with the Remembrancer speaking the Primarch's name without the appropriate title.
No. The War Master believed that the death of Sejanus was a mistake.
I like how, like, simply put, like everyone is calling him the War Master at this point. The War Master, right? And she just, like, simply just refers to him as Horus, and it visibly, like, frustrates fucking everybody. Like, yeah, I feel like you gotta take the hint, you know what I mean? Like, you're a Remembrancer, you know? Diplomacy is kind of like, you know, like, fitting it. You're trying to, you know, get these people to talk to you, you know? If they're, like, looking at you sideways every time you call him Horus and not by his fucking title, I don't know, maybe... But you gotta start to, you know what I mean? Take that hint a little bit. Uh-oh.
And that we could resolve things peacefully. He sent another peace embassy to speak with the
The story is called When Horus Killed
but
the
his
Emperor.
orders were clear. If the embassy failed to come to a peaceful resolution, the spear
Pen's
tip
drying out. Oh,
would be
no.
thrust.
The spear tip?
Yes, the War Master's favorite strategy. The spear tip thrust to tear out the throat.
Effective. Sounds effective.
Loken and 10th Company entered the palace, moving through thick smoke and debris. The distant echoes of gunfire reverberated off the palace walls, and as Loken stepped past a group of enemy corpses, he saw Nero Vipus standing at the end of a long corridor.
There's a problem up ahead. It looked clear. No visuals or heat traces on anything.
This is kind of crazy, though, the fact that there was a second empire with a second false emperor. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, that's true to consider, right? I mean, it's... I feel like in terms of, like, human hierarchy, right? Like, it's kind of like, if you think of, like, Stellaris, right? You definitely could, like, get other, what is it called? Like, I guess imperial, like, rulerships, I guess. Even in, like, the age of, like, space travel and shit like that. I could definitely see that being a thing. You have, like, an imperial family kind of thing. Now, this emperor, I don't know if he's an immortal fucking deity that lives forever, or if it's, like, a typical emperor, and maybe they, you know, have, like, sort of like a monarchy type of hierarchy. I actually don't know a whole lot about this second empire. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's, like, you know, if it's like some fuckery going on, or if it's simply just like the case of like the governorship of this place is like monarchy. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I actually don't know much about this, so this is interesting to hear.
There's a problem up ahead. It looked clear. No visuals or heat traces on anything.
He's just a human emperor?
nowhere,
Yeah, that's
we were
what I
under
thought.
fire.
Yeah.
Where are the others?
Just some fucking pretender. On that note, though, I could absolutely see how that would be utter heresy for the Imperium of Man to come across. Like the second emperor, like a false emperor, and it's just some bitch basic human, and you got fucking like space marines and like fucking like Primarchs, and then obviously the Emperor of Man after that, Custodes and shit. Like he's just a regular ass human, and then just their assault troops are fucking, you know what I mean? Humans, quote unquote, but like assault humans, fucking war humans, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just like, it'd be funny, you know what I mean? To like see that comparison. You know, the Imperium sees that shit, Space Marines see that shit, they're just like, this is utter fucking, you know what I mean? You're calling yourself the Emperor, you fucking peasant, like, you know, you're literally the size of my fucking leg, bitch.
Where are the others?
Zacchaeus is dead. Shimoni and Sergeant TG are injured. The apothecaries are with them now.
Like, there would
These
be
people
no...
are lost vipers. Going to war with orcs is something I can handle.
There would be
But
no
fighting our own kind
diplomacy, that's
saddens
for
me.
sure.
What saddens me is that I don't even know who or what brought my men down.
Where was the gunfire coming from?
At the end of the junction, from the other side of a bulkhead, we hit it with 3 grenades, but the gunfire didn't slow down at all.
Let's push forward and kill this bastard, whatever it is.
Loken signaled to his men, and they pushed forward towards the junction. The palace floor and walls were heavily damaged, and from where Loken
The true
was taking
emperor is
cover,
also just a
he could
man?
see
Yeah,
a
I don't know
mound
about
of empty
that.
shell casings behind the bulkhead in the distance.
I'll keep it a bean with you, bro. I don't know about
He
that
scanned the
one.
room with his visor, and just like Vipus had warned,
I feel like
he
that
was
one's up for
unable to
debate.
detect any threats. Loken reached down and picked up a chunk of tile from the chewed-up palace floor and threw it in front of the bulkhead. In only a matter of seconds, thousands of rounds were fired into the junction, further damaging the surrounding walls and columns. As the bombardment stopped, Loken heard the sound of an ammunition loading system being engaged.
It's not a person. It's an auto-sentry.
I'll hit it with another grenade. From this angle, I should be able to disable it.
I've got a better idea.
Loken activated a flare and threw it in front of a pillar along the left side of the palace wall. The flare lit up and doused the room in a blinding white light. Within seconds, the auto-sentry was hammering shells into the pillar. While the sentry was unloading into the left side of the room,
Man, what a dumb AI.
Loken sprinted to the
But
right,
that's what it would
hugging
do,
the
yeah.
wall and heading towards the bulkhead.
It's not even an AI, right? It's just dumbfire fucking, like, sensors, right? That's all it is. So, yeah, they don't use AI, right? I guess. Well, actually, I mean, these people might, I guess. We don't know what this civilization really is. You know, technically. I'm assuming it's probably just a fucking sensor, you know, that detects something and fucking shoots. It's not hard to program that. You don't need anything fancy to do that, right?
Loken sprinted to the right, hugging the wall and heading towards the bulkhead.
I'm assuming it
Nestled into a
isn't.
small housing of the wall,
'Cause that would be
Loken
pretty
saw
insane.
the auto-sentry still firing towards the flare. He put 2 bolt rounds into the side of the sentry. The weapon ground to a halt and started smoking from the sides.
Clear.
Did you have to make it look so easy, Garvey?
Loken couldn't see Vipus smiling through his helm, but he could hear it in his tone.
Let's keep pushing. It's time for us to meet the Emperor of Mankind.
Are we in a hurry?
You could say that. First Captain Abaddon placed a wager that he'll get to him before me.
First Captain Abaddon placing a wager with you. I wasn't aware you were on such terms with a first captain.
We'll get
Consider
aware.
yourself enlightened, Nero.
Yeah, literally.
Past the bulkhead, there was another corridor that led into another large chamber. As Loken and his 10th Company Astartes carefully walked through the room, he couldn't shake the thought that they were fighting their own kind. This city, and all the poor men and women living on this world. All of it could have been saved.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have a fucking pretender in charge, so, I mean, you can't just let that slide. Like, listen, again, it would be utter heresy to, like, have the Imperial man come across another civilization that has a quote-unquote emperor and they're humans. That would be, like, the ultimate spit in the face. Because, like, there's no other, it's the same title, right? Emperor of man, Emperor of man? Question mark? Emperor of fucking this society, Emperor of something, no such fucking thing. You're subservient, motherfucker. You're gonna claim to be an emperor? Nah. No, like there's no equal term there. You know what I'm saying? That's equal footing. No. Doesn't work. It's utter fucking degeneracy in this day and age, you know? The Imperium ain't gonna stand for that.
Instead, their ignorance would doom them. And these people would
Horus
die
tried
for
to
nothing.
start peace talks twice before.
Loken and the rest of his
I don't even mean okay. I'm like thinking only from like the aggressiveness of the Imperium. That's true. They probably did have peace talks, but then you also have to view it from the standpoint of this civilization. There is another emperor, right, out there, whatever have you, and they want you to claim subservience to him. That is automatically does not make you an emperor. You know what I'm saying? Right away. So for this civilization to bend the knee, he'd have to be renouncing governorship, renouncing like emperorship. Is he willing to do that? You know what I'm saying? I guess probably not. And that's how we, you know what I'm saying? Came to where we are. So like two emperors regardless, like there can't be two emperors. There's no such thing. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna fly. Diplomacy is not an option in that case.
doom them. And these people would die for nothing. Loken and the rest of his brothers
Can't we just
didn't
rule
exactly
together?
understand
Maybe
why
if he's a
those that
king
murdered
and not an
Sejanus
emperor,
were
but if he
called the
wants to call himself an
Invisibles.
emperor, no.
But as they ventured deeper into
Plain
the
and
palace,
simple.
they were soon to learn why.
Nero, I heard something.
Loken quickly scanned the room, but didn't see anything.
I did too, but I'm not getting a visual.
Then, they heard a loud slamming noise behind them, the sound of ceramite power armor hitting the ground. Loken looked back and saw one of his brothers lying on the ground, his helmet and visor appearing to be
One
melted
ego to
into
bring
his
down an
face.
empire? Yeah.
Before anyone had time
Exactly.
to react, they heard
That's
the
well,
distinct
that's all it is. And that's all monarchies of the day was, right? And we saw that. It was literally just the case of whose cock is bigger. That's, you know, you know what I mean? There's no grace to it. It's just like, that's what it is, right? It all just comes down to ego, man, when you're talking monarchies, because it's just people who don't have to deal with the consequences of their actions, right? Essentially. Now, obviously in the space age, right, that's less true, right? And if your society back in the day lost really, really fucking badly, then you as a ruler had to deal with the consequences of your actions. But for a lot of years, it just didn't happen, right? So, yeah, I mean, this emperor, right, he probably denied outright, like, subservience to the Emperor of Man. Thinking, fuck, what are they gonna do? You know, we're an armed society. We can take on this threat. What, they don't want to fucking, they want me to bend the knee? No, fuck them. Let them come and try. Come and try. And then obviously the Imperium of Man does, right? And it's like, goddamn, yeah, they're not gonna try. They're going to. Like it will happen, right? Come and try. Okay, we'll see you there. Like,
to be melted into his face. Before anyone had time to react, they heard the distinct sound of an energy weapon being fired.
oh,
Another Luna Wolf collapsed, his armor snapping off at the elbow before he hit the ground. Loken, Vipus, and the remaining men began to fire all around them. One of their shots hit something, as blood exploded out of the air and splattered the ground below. Loken was now detecting slight heat traces of movement, and realized that the enemies became faintly visible as they moved.
who's got
He
the biggest
adjusted
cock in the
contrast on
Imperium?
his
Exactly.
visor to almost complete black and white,
Exactly.
and could now
They're
see
busting
the
out the
outline of the
measuring
enemies
tapes.
as they advanced on them.
This is cool. What the fuck?
He fired his bolter on full auto, fluidly turning his body and adjusting his aim towards each outline of an invisible. Vipus rushed forward beyond the ambush of invisible warriors, and suddenly felt a numbing sensation in his hand. One of the invisibles had struck him with their energy weapon and landed a direct hit to his right hand.
Oh,
As Vipus fell to his knees in pain, Loken had dashed into the room behind him and started firing on more of the invisibles. The
This technology
situation had
seems
turned
pretty
to
useful.
pandemonium. Loken was lost in the noise of gunfire and his brothers in physical struggles with their elusive enemies. As Loken cleared the room,
To be
He
fair,
was the
maybe they're
only
not
one
utterly
remaining.
bitched here. To
The
be
battle
fair.
had spilled out of the chamber, and he could hear his brothers fighting off the enemies in the distance. The enemies that were once hidden under the cloak of their mysterious, light-bending technology were now lying dead on the floor in pools of their own blood. Loken walked past the enemy corpses and up a set of marble stairs into a massive spire. It was incredibly tall, and the walls were constructed entirely of glass, allowing Loken to see the battle being waged outside of the palace. It was eerily quiet in the spire. Loken scanned the room with his visor and confirmed that it was empty. He spotted a spiral staircase and detected a heat trace roughly 6 floors up near the top of the stairs.
This place is gigantic.
Nero, where are you?
At the base of the tower. We just fought off more of these invisible bastards.
Well, how bad is your hand?
Fucked.
I got rid of the damn thing.
Yeah,
It was
oh.
slowing me down.
Literally.
We've got more resistance, Garvey.
The Vox link disconnected, and Loken set off to discover the source of the heat trace above him. He ascended the stairs, and at the top, he entered a vast hall. Flush against a grand window overlooking the furious battle below sat a golden throne. He walked towards the empty throne, his bolter at the ready by his side. Just as Loken was going to attempt to make Vox contact with Vipus, he noticed an elderly man in robes standing against the glass. He was staring out of the window at the war below, seemingly oblivious to Loken's presence, until he turned around and stared into his eyes.
I will not bend my knee to you.
There it is. Right off the... off rip. Off rip. Even when the enemy force has invaded the throne room. There it is. There it is. There the fuck it is. Right there. That easy. Like, I'm just saying.
None of us will.
This
Holy
battle
shit.
is over. You were looking out the window just now. You're seeing what I'm seeing. There's nothing
Like you're
left for you
fucked.
to do but surrender.
The Imperium of Man will be victorious.
So you have chosen death. Like,
Yes.
yeah, that's
We will be
exactly it.
victorious.
The man cocked his head to the side ever so slightly, as if he was confused by what Loken had said to him.
Am I speaking to the imposter, Emperor of Mankind?
Imposter? The Emperor is as true as you or I. There is no imposter. You disgust me. Invading our world and murdering our people. And if that wasn't enough, you insult us in our sacred place. I believe that you are the imposter.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I am a man just as you are.
You are not a man.
Yeah.
Neither are they.
The man pointed out the window at the furious battle zone below.
And from his perspective, yeah, they, like, do not physically look human, to be fair. Like, you have these fucking, like, massive fucking humans, quote unquote, right? War machines, like, literally walking fucking tanks. Like, no. They're not really, you know, I can see how a regular human, if you didn't know what a space marine was, you'd be like, that's not fucking human. Especially if, it, you know, they're wearing, like, a helmet, they're wearing their full armor, you'd be like, I don't know what the fuck's under that. Judging by physically how imposing it is, it's probably not human, but it is, right? You know.
Neither are they.
The man pointed out the window at the furious battle zone below.
You are evil monstrosities, the ill-fated results of some terrible experiment.
Oh.
With your giant armor and weapons.
There it is,
Do you
yeah,
exist
wow.
only to kill?
Yeah.
A man does
Yeah.
not kill his own kind.
The proclivity, yeah,
Our
exactly.
aggression is only in retaliation to the murder of our own. We came here in peace. We came to help you understand, to help reunite mankind in the name of the Emperor.
Is that how you peacefully approach men? Sending armed giants in colossal suits of armor while their fleet of gunships hover above the world below?
Yes.
You came and
That's right.
disparaged our entire existence. You told us our culture was based upon a bed of lies. It wasn't a peace offering, nor was it the truth. It was blasphemy.
The truth isn't concerned with morals that you or I believe.
Holy
It
shit.
is just the truth. It is unfortunate that our values don't align, and that it has led to this violence.
You could have left us alone.
Loken felt a moment of unease.
Yo, why did the old man kind of spit there though? Like, that is true, right? Like, I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm not, like, don't think that I'm on the side of the Imperium here. The Imperium's gonna they're in the Great Crusade. They're in full swing right now. They're bringing worlds into compliance. They don't give a fuck what means, right? How that happens. Yeah, from, like, these people's perspective, yeah, they're absolutely, like, right. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, the old man did just kind of, like, cook him out right there. Like, a little bit. Like, I'm just saying, the false emperor there, yeah, he absolutely just... Yeah, he's right. Like...
And looked at the man with a look of confusion as he responded.
What?
If our values and ways of life are so different, you could have simply left us alone. We have existed peacefully for centuries, and you could have let us continue doing so. But you didn't. And I ask you why? Why did you have to impose your values on us with military force?
Because the truth
isn't concerned with morals. Isn't that correct? Yet you invade our world and butcher our people to deliver your truth, which makes you immoral.
Loken paused, realizing that he didn't know what to say.
I'm sorry that we aren't going to see eye to eye.
Damn, dude. That's a pussy response, Garvey. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I get it, but, like, that's... There's no other, like, way to say, like, I don't know what, you know, I have no comeback, then I'm sorry, we aren't gonna see eye to eye. I'm just gonna, like, I'm gonna stop having this conversation with you at once. Surrender. Damn, dude.
What to say?
I'm sorry that we aren't going to see eye to eye. Surrender at once.
So, you are the leader of this army?
No.
I'm the leader of the 10th Company.
I don't know what the 10th Company is.
He can't start agreeing with the enemy. I know,
you are not
but...
the leader of this army. In which case I will not surrender unless it is to the man in charge of this invasion.
You don't get to decide who you surrender to.
What if I refuse to surrender to you? Will you kill me? Will you take the life of an old, unarmed man? I will surrender, but I ask that I am able to surrender to your commander. Can you at least honor me with that last measure of respect?
As Loken was about to speak, 10 First Company Astartes floated up from the edge of the platform, their jump packs disengaging as they hit the ground.
Congratulations, Captain Loken. You beat us here after all.
Where is First Captain Abaddon?
Bottom of the tower, finishing up the last of the enemy guard units. Did I interrupt your illumination of the false emperor?
No. This man wishes to surrender, but he wants to do so to the War Master.
Is this a joke? That's not how this works.
No, we have come to their world and put an end to their culture. I believe we can do so decorously, without behaving as bloodthirsty brutes.
Bloodthirsty brutes? He has the blood of Sejanus on his hands.
He does. But are we no better than him?
What kind of logic is that?
Just as he did.
Yes. I think that would be the appropriate measure to take.
I don't. I recall the Emperor teaching us to be noble.
This is crazy dialogue, holy shit.
Respectfully, Captain
I like
Lincoln,
it, it's just like,
the
goddamn.
Emperor is not here.
In case you've forgotten, we've embarked on this crusade in his name. He's with us in spirit, always. If you're saying that is not true, then we are marching headlong towards a grim future.
I have to say there, like, you can see he absolutely has nothing, you know, he has no comeback to the false emperor there on those words, right? You can see the hypocrisy very clearly. He's, you know, he's got nothing to say. And then he does kind of want to treat this false emperor respectfully still, right? He wants to surrender to the man in charge of the invasion, which I feel like, you know, as leader to leader, that's an honorable ask. Now I can understand why, you know, these Space Marines, obviously the Lunar Wolves at this time, aren't going to want to do that, right? Like, it's kind of just like, yeah, you're getting subjugated. You don't get to surrender to whom you want, right? Like, we already, as your conquerors, are a higher rank than you regardless, so get the fuck out of here. But you can see him try to like share those words, and instantly it kind of get like shut down there between other members of his legion there.
Ekadon looked at Loken in disbelief, but he understood that he was outranked on this matter, and he looked to one of his
Would you
men.
take the life of an old unarmed man?
Send transmission to the vengeful spirit.
Yeah.
Loken gazed into the elderly man's pained eyes.
We have sent for the War Master.
So, he's on his way here now.
We will make sure that you are able to surrender to him directly.
I'm sorry you're too short for us to see eye to eye.
How much longer will I be waiting?
As long as it takes for him to arrive.
Ekadon was unhappy with their decision to call for the War Master, and he had no patience left for any demands from the false Emperor.
Let's see how Horus is gonna
As they
react
stood waiting
to this.
for a response from the vengeful
If he
spirit,
comes.
an explosion outside on the battlefield illuminated the sky in a bright white flash. As Loken's eyes began adjusting, he saw the faint outline of a person approaching the Golden Throne. Loken raised his bolter and screamed at the elderly man.
Is that him? Is that your Emperor?
No! Let me out of here!
The elderly man lunged towards Loken, his arm outstretched to take his pistol.
Hey, check it out. I killed the Emperor.
That wasn't the Emperor. He's right there.
Loken angrily pointed towards the Golden Throne, but it was too late. Before Loken could let the First Company squad know that they had fallen for a trap, a blast of energy shot out of the throne and knocked all the Astartes to the ground. Glass shattered all around them, and most of the First Company Astartes were knocked over the platform's edge by the force of the blast. Loken tried to stand up, but was overpowered by the energy coming from the throne. The light emitting from the throne was blinding, and the sound was a deafening roar. Loken was certain he was about to die, and then everything suddenly stopped. There was the sound of a single shot being fired, and after a horrific scream, the sound and light from the throne vanished. Loken was able to move again, and he quickly got to his feet, just in time for him to see the War Master standing behind him, bolt pistol at his side. Loken was stunned by the presence of his Primarch and fell to one knee.
War Master.
And Horus smiled as he looked at Loken.
Please, Captain, to your feet. There's no need for ceremony.
What seems to be the issue? Like, shows up, instantly the problem is solved. Like, what the fuck did you guys call me here for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why, you know, I was having coffee back on the Vengeful Spirit, you know what I mean? Having a great conversation. You wanted me down here? Like, something the matter? Like, am I needed? Oh, no, the enemy wanted to surrender, but, not anymore? Okay, well, continue, I suppose. Fucking beams him back up, like, holy shit. What the fuck?
I have a question.
When is
Captain
Mad Max Part 5? Might do
Go
some more
ahead.
tonight. Might do some more tonight.
Couldn't they have just been left alone?
No.
He's dead.
Why?
Yeah, literally, Andrew. He teleports in, shoots the guy on the throne, and just leaves. Like, yeah, like they literally called for him. Oh my god, how long are we going to have to wait for Horus to show up? As long as it takes. Fucking instantly, some shit goes down. Horus arrives. What was the problem, guys? Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it, continue doing your job, you know? Holy shit.
Left alone?
No.
Why not?
I suggest asking a better question.
Damn, dude.
Mercedy could sense the irritation in Loken's voice and decided to take his advice.
What is Horus like?
If you're asking me, then you clearly have never been in his presence.
I haven't yet had the opportunity, but
That's your
seeing as you
problem.
are a company captain, I would love to know what your thoughts are on Horus.
My thoughts are that you should refer to him with the proper respect. He is the War Master, the first of all Primarchs, and he was chosen by the Emperor, beloved by all, as his proxy. I am deeply uncomfortable with mortals speaking of
Literally.
him without honoring his title.
Literally, I literally just mentioned that, right? Like, you would think that, like, again, being a remembrancer, it doesn't matter, right? Like, he has that title of War Master. Like, that puts him below the Emperor directly, right? You are technically a mortal. You're gonna fucking call him his title, right? Like, if I approached an officer, right, and I called him by his first name, like, that would be a fucking no-go instantly. You call him his rank, right? Like, if he's a lieutenant, you call him a lieutenant. If he's a captain, you call him a captain. If he's a major, you call him a major, right? You don't just fucking call somebody his first, like, that's not what you do. That ain't cool, you know? I would hope that she wouldn't need to be told literally this. Garviel is doing this in a very, very nice manner. That's the thing. He's very, very, like, respectful and nice about this. But he shouldn't have to say this to her, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, damn.
And it offends me that you would think it is appropriate to do so.
I apologize, Captain Loken. I didn't know.
But you do now. He is War Master Horus, your remembrancer. Remember that.
Translation, call him by his first name again like your buddies, and I'm crushing your skull in my palms. Like, yeah, literally. Like, he said it very, very nice, but that is exactly what that meant,
So,
yes.
what do you think?
Like,
I think
Brady.
it's bittersweet.
Bittersweet.
I would say so. When I received the news that I had been chosen to join the crusade as a remembrancer, that I would be travelling through the stars with the lunar wolves, it felt like a dream. I couldn't believe it. I was so proud. My mind was racing, thinking of what I would see, who I would meet, and how inspired I would be. And that inspiration would lead to the best work I've ever produced. But now that I'm here, it isn't what I expected at all. I don't know.
Ignace, I was asking what you thought of the wine.
Oh, it's actually quite terrible.
It didn't stop you from drinking half the bottle.
No.
When given the choice of drinking
Why would it?
wine or sitting through a luncheon hosted by one of those dreadful iterators, I'll choose the wine every time, even if it's a foul sludge disguised as wine.
As Ignace Carcassonne
At least they
and
have
Brady
wine.
Keeler sat in the
Just
retiring
saying.
room above the subdeck, hundreds of remembrancers were gathering for lunch. During the Great Crusade, luncheons for the remembrancers were hosted by different ranks of the fleet, and oftentimes these luncheons were hosted by imperial educators who were hand-chosen to spread the imperial truth. These educators were known as iterators, and they accompanied all expeditionary fleets of the Great Crusade.
Hey, Colton, good to see you, man.
Rumor had it that the selection process to become an iterator was even more rigid and meticulous than that of the Astartes. To become an iterator, one had to possess a combination of natural talents, including the ability to articulate strong political knowledge and great intelligence. There were many amongst the expeditionary fleets that reveled in the opportunity to listen to the iterators speak, but Ignace Carcassonne was not one of them.
Who is it this time?
Cinderman.
Ah,
Cinderman.
Cinderman. I'll pass. Can I pour you another glass?
Might as well.
Ignace filled 2 glasses with the burgundy-tinted wine and sat across from Euphrates.
I will say, the wine tastes a bit better when I'm looking into your eyes.
There's no chance, Ignace.
Damn.
No chance of what? I was just complimenting your beautiful eyes and your luscious...
You know what? I think I will check out the luncheon downstairs after all.
Oh, that's so boring.
Okay, I get it. Point taken.
Come on.
Euphrates was slightly annoyed
Just trying to
with
spice up
Ignace's
the
constant
mood.
flirting, but she couldn't help but chuckle at his attempt.
Damn, dude.
In all seriousness,
Shut down
though,
immediately.
what do you think?
I don't find it as
That is
offensive as you.
relatable.
I've had worse wines back home.
I'm not talking about the wine, Euphrates. I'm talking about this crusade, the way we've been treated.
I don't think I've had it quite as bad as you. I've been relatively fortunate. I've gotten some really good pics. I was down on the assembly deck earlier today and captured some of my best images since we've been here.
Must be nice.
I haven't
requested
gotten
access
anything.
At least 12 times now, and I haven't had a single one get approved.
Oh, no.
I didn't think it was going to be like this. I didn't imagine we would have to work so hard just to get them to cooperate with us.
It will get better, Ignace. We've only been here for 3 months. They're probably not used to having so many people following them around and asking them questions.
No.
I hope you're right. I haven't written anything worth reading since we arrived.
I won't lie, I really like this conversation. Oops. I really like this conversation between these remembrancers. It shows, like, just how they communicate, like, normal people, you know? Because it's one thing to see, like, Space Marines communicate with each other, right? And it's very, like, a lot of the time, like, they're very heavy on their emotions, but they don't, what's the word? They don't, like, translate that properly. Like, they don't know how to, like, deal with that properly, right? But it just goes to show you, like, I love seeing, like, the interpretations from the guardsmen, the remembrancers, from those upper class humans too, in this regard, because it just shows, like, you know, there is, like, a lot more, like, personality and character going on outside of just, like, Space Marines and stuff. Like, there's so much more to consider, right? Just how, like, people act and how the personalities are, right? Not everyone's, like, fucking utilitarian and, like, you know, what's the word? Like super serious all the time, right? Like, you know, people are people, right? That's why I love the guardsmen, right? Like the guardsmen banter and shit like that. That's some of the best shit for me, you know? I like that a lot.
You're right. I haven't written anything worth reading since we arrived.
I put in a request for access to travel down to the surface. I really want to capture pics of the war zone. Maybe you should request access too.
If I can't get access to speak with anyone on this ship, I can't imagine I would get access to go to the surface.
As they continued to talk, Mercedes Alton entered the chamber, her eyes red with tears.
Uh-oh.
Mercedes, is everything all right?
No, I've had a terrible day.
What happened?
I was speaking to one of...
Did a rejection happen? Uh-oh.
the captains. He was telling me a story of when he was at war.
Uh-oh.
And I said something that offended him, and his entire demeanor changed.
Uh-oh. Oh,
It
no.
embarrassed me.
Yikes.
It made me feel like a fool.
Who was it that you were speaking to?
Captain Loken.
Gabriel Loken.
Captain Loken? 10th Company, Captain Loken?
Yes.
This is unbelievable. I've been trying to get time with Captain Loken for months. How is it that everyone is getting access except for me?
Dude, I feel bad for fucking Ignis here, because it's totally the case of, like, you know, some people just, you know, some people just get put back, you know what I mean? Some people just don't have it as easy, and it seems like in this case, also just like his personality and shit, you can totally see how, like, that might come into conflict with, like, the average Space Marine, the mentality of them, the attitude of them, I guess you could say. Ignis here definitely seems like a, you know, a more of a wild card to them, I guess, you know? That's for sure. Bro took a shot from half court. Yeah, literally. Negative Riz. Literally, man. I mean, hey, you gotta shoot your shot, you know? I mean, hey, you gotta respect the attempts, right? That's what it is, right? You know? It was there, right? He put some heart behind it, you know, but it didn't pay off, you know, and that's how it goes sometimes, you know. Primarchs are children made into demigods. Oh yeah, 100% they are. Yeah, I think so too. Like that's the problem with and I guess like regular Space Marines potentially have more potential for maturity in a sense, but also not really, because the process happens to them while they're still very much young, right? So it's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. I just figure because, like, you know, they might have gotten that extra time, you know what I'm saying? Versus the Primarchs, you know, they were into that shit immediately, you know what I mean? They didn't get time to be kids or to mature, and obviously being a kid in, like, this day and age is fucking awful, right? For most people. It depends, obviously, where you're from, but most children do not have it easy, right, on a hive world, let's say.
With Captain Loken for months. How is it that everyone is getting access except for me?
Euphrates glared
My boyfriend
at
is
Ignis,
upset with me, exactly.
irritated by how oblivious he was to the situation.
I don't think now is the time for this, Ignis.
Oh, it's fine. I don't care. I wasn't even supposed to talk to Captain Loken. I was actually scheduled to speak with Captain Torgadon. But when I went to meet him, he told me that something had come up and he couldn't sit down with me anymore. He told me that Captain Loken will be able to meet with me instead. He has a wonderful tale for you, he told me.
Well, I'm sorry it turned out like that. Was it a good story, at least?
It was a fantastic story, but it wasn't worth how it made me feel.
I'm impressed that you were able to get authorization to speak with him at all. Captain Loken is very well respected. Rumor has it that he's going to be the one to replace Sejanus.
I like how Ignis there does not give a fuck about her feelings at all. He's just like, how the fuck did you get, like, the opportunity? Like, I'm out here fucking, doing every deed, fucking, I'm out here slinging it day and night. I can't get a fucking single interview. You know what I mean? Like, what is this shit? I feel bad for Ignis, man. I'm just saying. Fucking, I'm Team Ignis here, The rest of these girls, man, they got it easy. Ignis here, what does he get, Where's the respect and love for Ignis?
He's going to be the one to replace Sejanus.
Ignis is like, bro, I just want to do my job. What, you mean you got access? Like, yeah, dude.
Thank you for sending that remembrancer to me.
Trying so hard.
That was really lovely of you.
Anytime, Garvey. You know I don't have time to waste with them.
I'm glad you think that I do.
Did you want to babble on about remembrances? Or would you rather discuss the rumor that's been floating around?
I've heard it.
So immediately.
But I don't know if it's true. Is it?
I like how, the girlfriend runs back to her friends, crying in tears. The boyfriend is out here sparring with his homie, talking shit. You know what I mean? Literally. That's awesome.
I've heard it. But I don't know if it's true.
I don't got fucking time to waste on that bitch.
That's
like,
why I came
whoa.
to see you.
Oh my
I
god.
I want to tell you. It isn't true.
I know that's not the
Logan looked at
dynamic,
Torren
but it's
stoically,
funny.
His face not giving any hint of the disappointment he felt inside.
I'm joking, Garvey. It is true.
Never said thought be gone.
Torren laughed
literally.
as Logan struggled to decipher whether he was telling him the truth or playing another joke on him.
It's true, I mean it. Ease up.
I don't know what to say. It's an honor.
You're absolutely right, it's an honor. And you should feel even more honored that I was the one that nominated you.
Torgen smiled as he lunged at Loken, crashing his blade against his.
Well, thank you. I mean it.
Don't thank me. Thank the first captain.
This is a cool dynamic
Thank
they have,
the
though, I
War
will say.
Master.
Loken stopped in his tracks, stunned by what he had just heard.
The War Master?
War Master?
What do you mean, thank the War Master?
What do you think it means, Garvey? Abaddon seconded your nomination. You left him impressed when you beat him to the false emperor. The deciding vote was cast by the War Master himself.
Huh.
Loken continued staring at Torgaden, still unsure if he believed what he was hearing.
He wants you in the Mournival.
Oh.
He said it was an easy decision for him, that you honor the Legion with your work. He asked me to tell you this myself.
He did?
No, I'm only playing with you.
Loken scowled at him,
Fuck.
and Torgaden smiled again, howling with laughter as he swung his axe at Loken.
Yes, of course he did.
All jokes aside, Loken was astonished by what he had just heard. To be asked to join the Mournival was an honor that left Loken at a loss for words. The Mournival was a body within the Legion that had existed since its founding. It was comprised of 4 captains, those that were regarded by their peers as the best of the Legion, and while not an official governing body, the Mournival was always viewed as the Legion's soul. The moral compass.
Yeah.
Highly respected voices of reason
Moral
that the War
compass.
Master could turn to discuss any number of matters with.
Respected voices.
Following the tragic death of Sejanus, the Mournival was in need of a replacement. Torgaden set his axe down, looking into Loken's eyes.
So, what's your answer, Garvey? Do you accept?
Sir, I do. And it is an incredible honor.
Good. Now here's your first lesson. You no longer call me Sir. You call me Tarek.
All of iterators on the Vengeful Spirit.
On this crusade, we have spoken the truth. We will continue to speak the truth. But some might ask, is it the truth just because you say so?
Chiral Cinderman's voice bellowed out into the crowd of nearly 2,000 men and women, a full class of iterators. They were dressed in simple robes, transfixed by Cinderman's every word. Loken walked quietly into the School of Iterators lecture hall and took a seat in the back.
No, I am right, and therefore
I realize captions are
wrong.
on, but it's kind of on twice. Like, we don't really need them on. It's kind of...
Our society as we know it has been formed by magnificent actions. The Emperor's unification of terror being one of them. The Great Crusade. The journey that we are all on is another. But the greatest action that we have taken has been freeing ourselves from the prison known as religion. Religion was our greatest enemy. To think of the number of men and women that died because of mankind's attachment to religion. What a tragedy. How many wars were fought in the name of religion? How many people did religion drive to madness? Since the beginning of mankind, we have sought the truth, answers to our questions, a desire to understand the cosmos. But what of those that didn't understand? Religion was a convenient answer. It was comforting. It helped them sleep at night. It was the easy solution.
The audience quietly laughed to themselves as Cinderman continued his lecture.
Blind faith. What happens when I die? The afterlife, of course. Why does the sun light up the sky? Why else but because of the glorious sun god? Mankind didn't understand, but wanted to believe in something. But we understand now. We have traveled the cosmos. We have seen the stars. We have learned, comprehended reality. Spirits, demons, gods, they don't exist. Faith in their existence comforts the ignorant soul, but we have reinvented ourselves. We are stronger now than we ever have been, and it is because we know the truth. And we don't need to be comforted by lies. The truth is we are right. They are wrong.
There it is.
This is not because we say so, but because we know so. And as we continue to proclaim the truth, you must know that we are not proclaiming our truth. We are proclaiming the truth. You are dismissed.
What do you guys feel about that that discussion there? I guess that speech, lecture, if you will. I feel like, you know, that's definitely the propaganda line, what he spilt there. I think that's true. What, like, again, as far as propaganda, Imperium propaganda goes, that's right. But also, like, it's hard not to see the hypocrisy. Our truth is the truth, you know, religion, when you're talking about religion, you know, it's their religion typically is the right religion, other religions are wrong. You know what I mean? It's hard not to fucking see the hypocrisy in just what he's saying right there, and it's hard not to, like, want to pick that apart. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? But it's just like, goddamn, I'm curious to see your guys' thoughts on that, because shit, dog.
As the iterators filed out of the hall, still buzzing with energy from the lecture,
what institute does Cinderman become a founding member of? That's actually a good question, man. I don't recall that, to be honest with you. I remember his name. I just don't remember the institution. That's a good point.
Still buzzing with energy from the lecture, Cinderman saw Loken and walked over to him.
The blunt they are wrong made me chuckle. Yeah, like what?
Being graced by the Honorable Captain Loken.
You know, I've...
Starts with the big guy. Oh, it's the Inquisition. Did he started the Inquisition, right? Cinderman?
I do.
Is that correct?
But I suspect that isn't the only reason you're here.
Yeah, yeah.
It isn't.
Is that wrong?
Because I wanted to speak to you, but not in a formal setting.
You want to speak to me about the Mournival?
Loken stared at Cinderman in disbelief.
How did you know that?
I may spend a lot of time reading and speaking to crowds.
You know what I actually recall that from? I recall that from the If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech device, I think. If I recall. I'm pretty sure that, like, Because like the photograph, like they kind of resembled him, I'm pretty sure.
I may spend a lot of time reading and speaking to crowds, but I still manage to hear the whispers throughout this ship.
Loken smiled, though he was still unsure of what to say.
Are you surprised?
I am.
I don't see why you would be. With the terrible death of Sejanus, the Mournival has been in dire need of a replacement. You've had the War Master's attention for some time now. Primarch Dorn's as well.
Primarch Dorn?
Dorn.
Again, I don't see why this surprises you. To impress these great Primarchs the way you have is an incredible honor, and you are deserving of it. So what is it, Garviel?
What do you think I should accept? Am I the right fit to join?
I believe you know my answer.
There is something else I wanted to discuss with you.
Tell me, Garviel.
I spoke with a remembrancer earlier today, a young woman. She was asking me about the battle at the High City. She wanted to know about the False Emperor and the invasion. She asked me a question, one that I haven't been able to stop thinking about.
I'm intrigued.
She asked me.
What was this question, Garviel?
Couldn't they have just been left alone?
Of course not.
I told her as much. But it's not just the remembrancer. When I was talking to this so-called Emperor, he asked me the same thing. Why couldn't we have just let them be? Let them live on their own? It's made me think. Fighting Xenos on Ulanor was not something that I had to wrestle with, morally speaking. But killing our own kind. It didn't feel right. Still doesn't feel right. The galaxy is vast. If we had ignored them and left them to believe whatever it was they wanted to believe, would that have been such a terrible thing?
Imagine you're in a desert. Some gas.
Let's hear Cinderman fucking describe this.
Down and the heat is unbearable and dangerous. You see a man sitting down, delirious from dehydration, his skin bright red. Do you bring him to shelter and give him water? Or do you let him continue doing what he's doing, leaving him to die of heat stroke?
I would save him, of course.
And what if he begged you to stop? What if he thought you were trying to kill him? What if he said to you, "Why can't you just leave me alone?"
I couldn't.
What I most appreciate about you, Garviel, is that you think.
I'm just gonna say that's a pretty fucking, like, there's a lot more nuance to what you just did than to what he's describing here. Like, again, that is like the ultimate propaganda line. Like, that is like the most like layman way to describe like what just fucking occurred. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to be fair, like, I can see why he's describing it this way, but no, bro. Like, it's not really the same, you know? Like, it is, but it isn't, you know what I mean? Like, at all.
I most appreciate about you, Garviel, is that you think. You are concerned by things that don't bother others. You are skeptical. You have doubts. It's these qualities that make you a necessity for the Mournival.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Cinderman.
The Mournival should serve as a healthy counsel for the War Master. That means opposing viewpoints, different sets of eyes, unique thought processes. The Mournival should watch over the moral health of the Legion. Your humanity and ability to empathize. That is the counterbalance that the War Master needs. You came here to ask me what you should do, and I believe you know what that is.
I think it's pretty on point. It's simplified, but it applies. See, I disagree with that because, like, it all comes down to the nuance of the situation, right? Like, from what they saw, right, this was a space age civilization that was doing fine, that had not succumbed to any sort of depravity, that was governing itself, that seemed to be living fine. The citizens seemed to be living fine. I don't know, right, the extent of it, but from what we saw, it seemed to be doing fine, versus a civilization that would actively be putting itself into its own self-destruct, like, that's actively self-destructing itself, you know what I mean? Like, it's the context of it, right? They've been doing what they've been doing for hundreds of years without fail until the Imperium came. Versus sitting out in the sun and dying of dehydration. You couldn't do that for more than a day, right? And you would have died, right? Like, I think the nuance of the situation is a lot more important. I don't think it necessarily applies, right? If you were to, like, put some critical thinking behind that statement, you know what I mean? I don't think it works. Like, again, from the propaganda, from the layman perspective, in terms of, like, Cinderman here trying to explain it to Garviel and trying to make him feel, I guess, at peace with it. Yes, that is absolutely what you would want to say. But I feel like, you know, having, like, the context, having, like, that hindsight, right? Yeah, I feel like it's got holes, you know what I mean? That's all.
Should do. And I believe you know what that is.
For the first time in her life, Mercedy Allaton was...
They haven't fallen to any of those things yet, same as the man who hasn't died yet. Time will come for both without either of them knowing it. The vision of the crusade was wider than just tomorrow. I understand that. I absolutely understand that. And that's the vision of the crusade, right? But they're out there calling this the truth, right? They know the truth. They don't know if that civilization is going to succumb. They're just telling themselves that they're going to. If they've been doing fine for centuries, what proof is there that they would ever succumb to that to begin with, right? That's the thing here. But they, with the Great Crusade in mind, with the word of the Emperor in mind, they can't think about that, right? They have to think, okay, they are going to fuck themselves up, even though there's been zero proof to the contrary. Sitting out in the sun is very self-destructive. What they were doing, there was no proof of self-destruction. That's what I'm saying, right? That's the problem there. It's like there's very much holes in that statement. You know what I mean? It's not the same to me. I can't see that, you know?
For the first time in her life, Mercedy Allaton was standing on the surface.
He's leaving out so many details and facts about his truth, it becomes non-factual. Exactly. Like, yes. Like, there is so much more, like, in the context of what happened or what, like, was going on than the story he described. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot more pieces at play there than there was merely a man that was seemingly trying to forever sleep himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a lot more, like, because they don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, right?
The 19th world that the 63rd expedition had.
And even if you were to put, like, I don't know.
Mercedy took in her surroundings with an equal measure of awe and weariness.
We'll keep going.
It was beautiful. Everything looked and felt just slightly different than it did on her home world. Ships passed overhead, and the stars shone bright in the evening sky. Mercedy was thrilled to be on the surface of 6319. But she couldn't ignore the plumes of smoke in the distance, or the quiet grumblings that the world was not yet fully compliant due to the ongoing struggles with the local population. Most of all, Mercedy was surprised, not necessarily that she was on the surface, but because of who had granted her access, Captain Loken. It didn't make sense. The last time they had spoken, the conversation ended with Loken taking great offense, and Mercedy feeling humiliated. She didn't have much time to think about it, as she was now being summoned to speak with him. Mercedy walked over to the massive captain, looking up at him.
Chaos would have came for them. That's been confirmed by the Emperor's foresight. They're sitting in the sun, they just don't know it. And chaos was going to get them in hundreds of thousands of years. But didn't chaos come for the Imperium? Like, in the exact same way, though? Like, see what I'm saying, right? Like, that in itself is pretty loaded, you know what I mean? Because chaos came for the Imperium in the exact same way. Who's to say that that civilization wouldn't have fared better against chaos than the Imperium did? Especially considering the fact that they're not nearly to the size that they were, a lot more manageable in size. Who knows, right? There's a lot more going on there. Like, I don't know if they were a religious society. I don't know if they were, you know, a atheistic society. I don't know the specifics of it per se, but they're, from what we saw, right, as of right now, from what I saw right now, there was no proof to the contrary that they wouldn't have been fine on their own, right? It's a good point that they made, right? The old man was kind of cooking. We've lived here for centuries. We've governed ourselves for centuries. We existed fine without the Imperium, you know, because you do see other worlds that or other civilizations, other cultures that have succumbed to chaos in one way or another, or still worship them in some way. And unless that is evident on the planet, I just don't see the justification, I get. Like, you know what I mean? And now again, from the mindset of the Imperium and from the mindset of the Great Crusade, absolutely they're going to still fucking conquer this place. But it's a good point. Couldn't you just have left us alone? In that case, if it's a functioning society, why couldn't they have, right? Like, that's the thing. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say, right? Would they have succumbed to chaos? Maybe. But any worse than the Imperium did? I don't know, right? Like, that's, you know.
As he spoke to her.
It is nice to see you again.
Captain Loken, I've been wanting to tell you. I'm so sorry for how I spoke to you. I did not mean to offend you, and I felt horrible for doing so.
Oh.
Please, Remembrancer, do not apologize to me. Do you think that I brought you here to the surface because I was offended?
Captain, to be truthful, I'm not sure why you brought me here.
You got under my skin, but I was out of line. You meant no harm, and I regret the way that I spoke to you.
I was too bold. I should have been more restrained.
I'm glad that you spoke the way you did. I wasn't happy with you in the moment, but your boldness, that's the reason you're here right now.
I apologize, Captain, but I don't understand.
I don't expect you to. I must go now, but I wanted to thank you. You asked me questions. Uncomfortable, but important questions. The right questions. And because of that, you showed me that I was also asking the right questions.
Where are you going?
When we meet again, we can speak of it.
Loken walked through the ornamental garden, noticing how much quieter it was here. Away from the lander ships and bustling humans on the surface, the garden was peaceful. It had taken its fair share of damage from the assault on the high city, but its lush, tranquil qualities still remained. Decorative slabs were shattered, and there were craters in the ground from artillery blasts. But the surrounding trees stood in defiance to the remnants of war, as did the vibrant flowers and natural springs. After a few moments of walking, Loken came upon a small pool. Stones stuck out of the water, creating a walkway to cross to the other side. Loken walked across the stones, his mind racing as he stepped. So much had changed, and he knew that things were about to change even more. As he reached the other side of the pool, he saw a small light emitting from the trees in the distance. He walked closer to them, then a voice began to speak.
What is your name?
My name is Garviel Loken.
Which master do you swear to?
I swear to the Emperor.
Which Emperor?
To the War Master.
Illuminate him.
A metal slot was pulled open, and Loken was bathed in the yellow light of a lantern. On the other side of the trees, Loken could now see 3 figures. Torgadon was holding the lantern. First Captain Abaddon and Horus Aximand, captain of the 5th Company, stood on either side of him.
Do you vouch for this soul?
I vouch for him.
Loken stood uncomfortably in front of them, not entirely sure of what he should be doing.
Relax, Garvey.
Loken smiled, but still felt slightly unsettled. As he looked at the 3 captains standing before him, something dawned on him. Within the Lunar Wolves Legion, there were a handful of Astartes who bore a striking resemblance to the War Master. It was theorized that this resemblance was due to conformities in the gene seed. Whatever the cause, those who shared the physical appearances of Horus were considered remarkably fortunate and were known as the Sons of Horus.
Oh, great.
Abaddon and Torgadon shared physical traits of the War Master, and Horus Aximand's physical likeness was so similar to that of his Primarch that he had earned the nickname of Little Horus.
Little Horus, I remember that, yeah.
Loken realized that he would be the only Mournival member, past or present, that was not amongst the Sons of Horus.
There is nothing complicated about this. Tarek vouched for you here, and others of great honor have also done so. Our War Master and Primarch, Dawn, have both put your name forward.
I understand you have as well, First Captain.
I have. You have had my attention for years, and you validated my belief by reaching the false Emperor before me.
Nothing more than luck, sir.
Luck.
I will say that is uncanny, to be fair, yeah. Like, they all are, like, kind of Horus, not clones, obviously, but they do have the physical traits, appearance of Horus. They do share that representation with him, thus kind of giving them this special credence. And then you look at Loken there, and it's like literally like blonde hair, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't look fucking anything like Horus at all. Like, literally no traits at all that define him. Which is kind of like, I guess, kind of telling for what maybe eventually happens. It's hard to say.
There's no such thing. There is success or failure, but there is no such thing as luck.
Calm yourself, Horus. Garviel is just being modest. He is too humble to throw it in my face that he beat me. And for that, Garviel, I admire you. But you are not here today because of your modesty or because of luck. You are here because you are an exceptionally talented warrior.
Thank you, First Captain.
Now, to explain the Mournival. We are equals, all of us. There are no ranks, nor will there ever be. If we are in front of our legion, you may call me Sir, First Captain, or whatever you are comfortable with. But when we are amongst each other, I am Ezekiel.
Tarek.
Horus.
Understood, Ezekiel.
There is no structure, nor will there be any duties expected of you. You should prepare yourself for one thing in particular, to spend more time working with the War Master.
I look forward to it.
Have you decided who will take your place as 10th Company Captain?
If I were a betting man, I would presume it to be Vipus.
Vipus feels right for it, but Jubal outranks him. He has seniority over him too.
Another lesson of the Mournival. Never second-guess yourself. You said it feels right for Vipus. Then he should be your replacement. Jubal will get over it.
It's time
Holy
for you to take the oath, Garviel.
I mean, I guess I respect that, but also, what
the
the
captains
fuck?
led the way and walked back.
Never second guess yourself, so we can't, like, you know, roll an idea over in our head and, like, see how we feel about something. It's like, nah, you just fucking act on it. He'll get over it, little bitch. Whoa. Like, are you sure? But what if he isn't? You know, I haven't even, like, expressed, like, you know, why or why not he's decent. You know, I don't care. Not important. If it feels right, go with it. Instantly go with your gut. That's what the Mournival is about, boys. Holy shit. Hey, Anthrax, how you doing here, man? Good to see you here.
Bill.
Find it cool how the Gene Seed takes to a different...
captains led the way.
Sorry. I find it cool how the Gene Seed takes different Astartes differently. It's realistic. Some kids look almost nothing like their parents, end up looking like their granddad or something sometimes. Yeah, that's true too, right? Like, it's almost weird how it, like... I'd say it, like, skips generations almost, but in, like, the hindsight of a Gene Seed, right? How they do it, right? That's not really true, but I guess it's just down to genetics, right? Like, what your body is compatible with the Primarch's Gene Seed, right? I think that's also the reason why, like, excuse me, like, a lot of, why the Space Marine, I guess, like, initiation rate is so high, right? Because when they transfer the Gene Seed to you, that has already such a high failure rate in and itself, right? Like, you do already have to be compatible with him to some degree, in a way, which is weird to think about, but yeah. And then it kind of gives credence to why, you know, some of them end up looking so much like their Primarch versus others, I guess, don't, right?
Garviel.
Physically, at least.
The three captains led the way and walked back towards the pool. They all stepped into the dark water, forming a ring.
All those before you that have taken the oath have done so under the moon. It's a tradition. You will do the same.
Loken looked up and admired the moon shining brightly above them.
In the early days, it was preferred to have an image of the moon reflected on a mirror. Tonight, this water will do the trick.
As Loken looked down at the moon's reflection in the pool, he felt uneasy once again. Not because the nerves of joining the Mournival, but because the oath ceremony that he was participating in felt too close to a forbidden ritual.
It does feel pretty
Cinderman
fucking
had warned
culty, I'm
against
not
these
gonna lie.
types of spiritual ceremonies, and Loken decided to speak up.
My faith is in the Imperium. I cannot and will not acknowledge or pledge to any spirit.
The three captains looked at each other smiling, then began laughing.
Garviel, there are no spirits here, that much I can assure you. This is how we've always done it. Think of it as pantomime.
This was an important moment for us all. It was life-changing. We want you to experience it the same way. It's important to us that we carry on tradition. It may seem theatrical, but we want you to remember the moment.
I understand.
And you're sure of this? The oath you're about to take is one of brotherhood. It may seem dramatized, but it's significant and secular. Only in death does our duty end.
I want to take the oath, Ezekiel.
And under the moon...
Where do tradition and ritual cross over? That's a very good question, Andrew. That's kind of what I'm, like, debating in my head right now, too. Because, like, I can see, like, what they're saying. Like, okay, this is traditional, sure, we've always done it this way, okay. But, like, also, this is fucking pretty culty, you know what I'm saying? We can't just sit at a table and fucking discuss, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to do this whole, like, song and dance, you know, like quite literally, you know. And I can see why Garviel here, right, being, you know, talking to Cinderman, believing in the Imperium, believing in the Emperor, believing the truth of the Imperium at this time, why he's just like looking at this sideways like, what the fuck are we doing here? It seems a little bit like some type of, you know, it seems like a ritual, you know what I mean? Like, what am I doing here? Am I selling my soul? Like, what?
Ezekiel.
And under the moon, he stood with his brothers as the ceremony began. Torgadin spoke the names of the Mournival members who perished before them, honoring their service to the Legion. Loken swore to accept their brotherhood, to serve the Luna Wolves, and to stand firm against all enemies. As he finished pledging his oath to the Mournival, Torgadin fired a vapor flare into the night sky. The four Astartes laughing and cheering as sparks rained down on them. They each took turns hugging Loken, congratulating him in their embrace. Torgadin went last and spoke quietly to Loken as they embraced.
I'm so proud of you, brother. You're one of us now.
Fun extracurricular activities? Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I don't know. Seems pretty cult-like. That hurt my ears.
Will,
genuinely.
Once again, be a city of
that genuinely fucking.
Light, and the darkness, the darkness of the past is no more. It is now.
Ignace Carcassy knew it was too good to be true. At the urging of Euphrates Keeler, he requested access to come to the surface, and to his utter shock and surprise, his request was granted.
Oh, wow.
But after listening to Peter Egon Momus stumble over his words into a barely functional Vox mic for over an hour, he regretted ever making the request.
Why, for the love of terror, am I being punished like this?
Hey, at least we got to come to the surface.
Who cares about being on the surface if we are to be subjected to this? What a nightmare.
Ignace was in a crowd of over 500 others. In theory, the crowd should have been captivated by the architectural vision Momus was sharing for the future of the High City. But the reality of the situation was much different. The sun was high overhead, and the open city square offered no shade to the crowd below. It was hot, uncomfortably, brutally hot. The very few times that a breeze blew through offered nothing in the way of relief, instead kicking up dirt and prompting those standing in the crowd to cough and choke. And ignoring the poor weather conditions, the members of the crowd who received an invitation to this event had no interest in being there.
So why is everyone there?
Outside of a small group of remembrancers, the majority of those in attendance were nobles and high-ranking members of the recently overthrown government.
I see.
The only reason that these people were alive was because they had pledged compliance to the Imperium.
I can't listen to this bumbling fool any longer, Charles. I have to get out of here.
You're being
This is quite the showing.
I'm quite enjoying it, actually.
Oh, you're quite enjoying this, are you? I can barely hear a damned word he's saying.
We are excited to share our architectural vision. Now, allow me to... Okay, sorry, one moment. I've misplaced my notes. I just want to... here they are. Okay. If you recall the earlier data...
Okay, it isn't great, but it's better than being cooped up on that ship.
I couldn't disagree more.
At least you got wine on the ship.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I suppose I'll walk until I can't hear him talking anymore.
Did you get hazed any point in your service? I can't talk about that.
Ignace turned around and began pushing his way through the packed, sweaty
Can't talk
crowd.
about that.
He trudged through the dense group of exhausted, grim-faced people for 10 minutes before he finally reached the end. As he was nearing the exit, he was approached by an Imperial Army soldier.
Sir, I'm going to need you to turn around and head back that way.
Oh, that's quite all right. I've actually just finished my work here.
Your work?
Yes, sir. I am an official remembrancer.
No one is to leave until the presentation is over.
I'm sorry, but I'm...
Loken was probably thinking, what next? I gotta kill a chicken, clock 3 times to be initiated? Like, yeah, brother. I was like straight up thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, they bringing like a cow out next to like behead or some shit? Like, they gotta like fucking like drink the blood of like some animal or like fucking like I don't know, bathe themselves in it or some shit? Like, what's going on here, you know? Holy shit. Snitches get stitches, exactly. That's exactly right. If you guys look into the Canadian military and you look into like how many fucking like harassment charges and how many this, that, the other thing are going in there, bro, you like, you can't talk about that shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? Even shit that like was pretty like harmless. You know what I mean? You can't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get people fucking in trouble. You know, that's all it is.
I'm sorry, but I'm sweating through my robes here and I need something to drink.
Food and drinks will be provided.
Ignace felt defeated and couldn't hold back any longer.
No. Listen to me, sir. Please. My life is at risk in this crowd. I don't know if it will be the heat or sheer boredom, but I am certain I will die if I am forced to listen to this any longer. Can you even hear what he's saying? How am I supposed to memorialize this if I can't even see or hear anything?
The soldier looked Ignace up and down. He glanced over his shoulder, then looked back at Ignace and quietly spoke to him.
Listen, I get it, but I can't let you leave. Let me tell you something. You don't want to be walking around out there. It's not safe.
Not safe? I've been made to believe this world is nearly compliant.
Kid, you've been made to believe a lie.
Damn,
These poor saps lost everything they had. There are insurgents who aren't ready to lay down and pledge compliance.
Surgeons?
You see someone like you walking around in your clean, fancy robes? Just trust me. You're better off staying here.
Thanks, I guess.
Ignace walked towards the back of the crowd. His head hung low. Peter Momus fumbled through his barely audible speech for another 10 minutes, when all of a sudden, Ignace heard part of the crowd gasp. The heat had begun to take its toll, and one of the audience members collapsed. A woman screamed out for help, and 2 Imperial soldiers rushed into the crowd to help. Ignace couldn't help but notice that the soldier he had just been talking to was one of them, and realized that this was his chance to escape. With his face obscured by his robes, he quickly walked towards the exit and made his way out of the city square.
Bro, Ignace is gonna get fucking jumped here. Like, I don't think that Imperial soldier was like bullshitting. Like, he's got no reason to. Like, yeah, you just took over this planet. Like, you're gonna meet somebody that is going to stab you in an alleyway and leave you for dead. Like, like, why wouldn't they do that to you? Like, they can very clearly see you're not from here. You know what I mean? Like, what? Inner City, 6319.
The city streets were eerily empty. Buildings were crumbling and vehicles were burned out on the sides of the desolate roadways. The sight would unnerve most people, but Ignace felt relieved. The calm of the quiet, ravaged city comforted him. It was the first time in months that he had been truly alone. As he ventured deeper into what remained of the bleak city, he came across handwritten messages on walls. Graffiti, words of defiance. Some were heartfelt, emotional messages lamenting the losses of loved ones. Others were fiery, angry messages demanding that the invaders leave. Ignace was engrossed by the messages and began scribbling down poetry drafts. The vision that he had had arriving on the crusade and being overwhelmed with inspiration to write had never materialized while in orbit. But it was happening here, in the ruins of the High City. Carcassy wrote for hours, wandering down alleyways and silent streets, writing page after page as he came across more graffiti. The sun had started to go down, and the exciting liberation he had felt hours before had turned to unease. At the end of the street, he eyed a dining hall that appeared to be open. The lights were on, and through the window he observed a small handful of people sitting at tables, eating and drinking. He walked inside and immediately felt the weight of every eye in the establishment being turned in his direction.
Yeah, because you're
a woman
loaded,
behind
dude.
The bar looked dubiously at Ignace.
Good evening, miss.
She stared back at him in complete silence, offering no response.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
The woman nodded, still not saying a word.
That's fantastic. I would love a drink if you could be so kind.
As she stared at him blankly, Ignace wasn't convinced that the woman understood him.
Drink. You know, that right there?
He pointed to the bottles of what appeared to be liquor behind the counter. The woman grabbed one of them and placed it on the bar, along with a small glass.
This is excellent, thank you. And how much do I owe you? Should I pay now? You don't know what I'm saying, do you? Do you even care? I don't think you want to talk to me. I take no offense. I'll tell you what. I'm going to take this bottle, have a seat over there in the corner, and leave you be.
Ignace poured a glass of the mysterious liquor and quickly drank it. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a handful of imperial coins, placing 3 of them on the bar in front of the woman.
This is for the bottle. Is this enough? Ah, I see. Here, take them all.
Ignace placed all of the coins in front of the woman. She looked down at the coins, then back up at Ignace, before she walked away without saying a word. Unbothered by the woman's behavior, Ignace grabbed the bottle and sat at a high-top table in the corner of the room. A table of men sitting nearby glared at him as he sat down.
You're welcome to join me. I'd love to hear more about this beautiful city.
Bro, I can get his demeanor, right? Like, he's trying to be friendly, you know what I mean? I don't hate Ignace here, but he's being fucking very insensitive, bro. Like, you're coming in here dressed in your lavish robes, like you're clearly in a remembrance, like you're someone important, right? These people just fucking conquered this planet, right? These are just the small folk, like the civilians that like were caught up in the struggle, right? This is probably just a local establishment, a bar, and now you have some foreign, like, human, right? That just walked into your bar, is acting casual, is paying you in imperial monies, like the culture, imperial money, like the culture shock these people are experiencing right now is probably insane. They're like, who the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Zero street smart? Exactly. Like, you can tell, like, he's never like actually been in an environment like this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Dude's never been jumped. This shit gives you a different perspective. Like, I just think he's used to being safe, right? Like, with the position that he is in, right? Like, he's, if anyone were to try anything on him, right, like, it would come to a stop immediately, right? Here, where he doesn't have that protection, I think he's just ignorant to just how vulnerable he, as just a fucking person, is on this planet is. Because he sees this world as, oh, brought to compliance. We conquered this world. We won the battle. Oh, yeah, there's no danger. Fucking, yeah, how many millions of people in the world that fucking hate your guts because you just killed their fucking brother or their mother or their family member, right? In this war to conquer them. Like, yeah, they're not gonna like you. Like, you know what I mean? They're not gonna fucking want you there. You know what I mean? Give it like 100, 200 years and maybe generationally they'll get over it. But like right now it's a little fucking sore, you know? That's all.
Me, I'd love to hear more about this beautiful city.
Ignace has never been to any type of hood. Yeah, literally. Literally.
He smiled to himself as he poured another glass. And another. He sat alone at his corner table, drinking glass after glass of liquor and looking through his notebook at the words he had scribbled down. He thought of the messages he saw written on the city walls. Did these people see it coming? Could they have ever imagined that their city would be reduced to what it is now?
Probably not, no.
Ignace had nearly finished the entire bottle of liquor by now, and as he pondered the thoughts of the defiant citizens, he saw a bright flash of light outside the window. Imperial soldiers had lit up one of the walls with a massive illuminator and began removing the graffiti on the wall with a flamer. Ignace stumbled out of the chair at his table and rushed outside. He hadn't realized it because he had been sitting down for so long, but he was quite drunk at this point and was having a hard time walking straight.
Hey! Hey! Leave that there!
The Imperial soldier deactivated the flamer and yelled across the street to Ignace.
What are you saying?
Leave that there! You don't need to remove it, all right? Move along now.
I'm following orders. And who are you?
Don't you worry about me. You go carry on now without destroying people's words. Enjoy your evening, sir.
Ignace turned around and drunkenly bumbled his way back inside the dining hall, crashing into a wall as he returned to his
He's gonna get his ass beat by these soldiers now, or by these people.
Again. But his vision was blurry and he was having difficulties reading his own writing. Then, he noticed 3 men in Imperial uniforms standing around his table.
Excuse me, sir. I'm going to need you to identify yourself.
Of course. I'm Ignace Carcassy. I'm a remembrancer, you see.
A remembrancer? You shouldn't be here.
Oh, but I should. I was here to listen to Patrick, Moomy, or Gregory. No, that's, Peter Momus, the architect.
That presentation ended hours ago, and the remembrancers were escorted back onto the ship.
Right, yes. Yes, they were, but I was asked to stay here and further document the plans of the city, that is.
Okay. I wasn't aware that any of the remembrancers had stayed on the surface. But if you're working with Peter Egon Momus, then...
The soldier looked over at the others standing beside him and shrugged.
Be careful down here. It's not entirely safe. Not yet, anyway. It'll be a paradise city once it's rebuilt. I've heard Momus drew up outstanding plans for the new city.
Wow.
Oh, outstanding indeed, sir. A memorial that to commemorate our victory here. One that will last forever, of course, just like the city before it.
I'm sorry?
That's kind of crazy to say. He's very clearly drunk, right? And also, like, he's playing both sides here, and like I think that's just the character he is, right? Because he's speaking very ignorantly to the Imperial soldiers. You know, don't remove the graffiti, so already you kind of look sus for saying something like that. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why would I not remove this anti-imperial propaganda that they've fucking scribbled on this wall? Why would I not do that? Who the fuck are you? Oh, you're a remembrancer? Okay, well, if you're working here for the city, fine, whatever have you. But they're just also having this open, loud conversation in the middle of this bar with the citizens of the city around, right? Of this conquered nation around, saying like, oh yes, we're gonna fucking put a monument to our victory up. We're gonna fucking remove all this rubble, you know, make it all fucking beautiful again, like whatever have you. It's just like so insensitive, you know? And then he's talking shit. Oh yes, this monument will last forever. Like the city before it. I'm sorry, he says. Like, let's see where this goes. I'm interested to see. He's gonna get his ass kicked here, I think, but I don't know by who yet. By his own side or by the people living in the city. I honestly don't know which yet. It's hard to say.
I'm sure you were sorry. This city won't last, whether you or Momus or the Emperor himself rebuilds it. The city will stand until it is toppled by whoever comes to invade it next.
I think it's time for you to leave.
What do you think the person who built the last city thought? You know, the city that was here before we came and left it in ruins? I bet he thought it would stand forever.
Sir, I'm going to need you to come with me.
This city, this world, it will all crumble.
I've heard enough of this.
And after that, the Imperium. It will all fall apart. We've been fighting forever. Oh, what? You don't believe me? Look at what...
Oh, okay. So it is the Imperial soldiers that beat his
Before
ass.
Ignace could finish saying another word, he was knocked to the ground with a wild punch from the Imperial soldier. He tried to get up, but the 3 soldiers pummeled him, punching and kicking him as they lay powerless on the ground. They were overcome with rage, but as the soldier who had been speaking with Ignace stepped back and took a look at him, he came to a startling realization. Ignace was no longer breathing.
Damn, dude. Did they just kill him there for that? Holy fuck.
Are you ready, Garvey?
Did they actually just... They just fucking beat his ass to death there? What the fuck? Holy shit. In just the middle of a bar? Really? Holy shit. I hope that's not the last we see of him. Like, what the fuck?
At one point, a
That's
question will be posed. To most in attendance, it will seem insignificant. It will not appear to be directed towards you, but you need to be prepared for it.
Torgaden's warning was vague, but Loken appreciated it nonetheless. The two continued down the corridor, eventually reaching the entrance to the Strategium. Abaddon and Axaman were waiting for them outside.
Garville, are you ready?
I am, Ezekiel.
Good. Let's not keep the War Master waiting.
And as Abaddon pushed the massive golden doors open,
your thing there? Yeah, that's fine, man.
moment in Loken's life had arrived.
Oh yeah, and I understand. It's definitely not for everyone, right? And that's fine too. You know, no hate there at all, man. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I find this stuff very interesting. I find like these, especially, well, obviously Warhammer related, but this animated style, all these different voice actors here, man. This is pretty good quality as far as I'm concerned in terms of like a lore video. I'm all for this to be honest, but I understand it's absolutely not for everyone, you know. That's fair
Abaddon
too.
pushed the massive golden doors open. A historic moment in Loken's life had arrived. For the first time, he had walked onto the Strategium deck as a member of the Mournival. The Strategium was an ornate, semicircular platform that stood above rows of tiered seats in the Vengeful Spirits Bridge. Loken had only been on the bridge of the flagship 2 other times during his decades of service. The first time was when he was promoted to captain, and the second time was when he was promoted to lead the 10th Company. Both instances were truly important occasions in Loken's life, but they paled in comparison to this. As Loken looked around, he recognized prominent members of the Legion. Lord Commander Varvarus, the expedition's army commander, Igmay Singh, the mistress of astropathy, and countless others casually chatted as they stood waiting for the proceedings to begin. One figure that Loken did not recognize was looking out over the Strategium deck. Loken couldn't tell if he was a man or a machine, as his body appeared to have both flesh and metallic features.
Who is that?
That would be Regulus. He is the adept of the Mechanicum.
Before Loken could speak again, everyone around him fell to one knee, and the War Master walked into the center of the platform.
Friends, all of you, please stand.
Horus walked slowly in a circular motion, smiling at those that surrounded him. Loken had been in the presence of Horus on many occasions, but each time felt just as electric as the first.
It is wonderful to be with you all, and I salute you for being present. I know that these briefing sessions can at times be monotonous, but I will do my best to keep you engaged.
The men and women in attendance quietly laughed, as Horus smiled and continued speaking.
I would like to start by thanking Peter Egon Momus for the outstanding work he has done reimagining the High City. As we embark on this crusade, conquering worlds would be doing humanity a great disservice. No, it is our duty to leave these worlds in better condition than when we found them. What we raise up is more important than what we strike down. After reviewing the designs that Peter shared with me, I can confidently assure all of you that the new High City will be a breathtaking sight. We thank you, Peter. I now welcome...
The way he was talking, you know, when he was describing his plans, when he was giving his speech, that sounded like pretty jokester-ish, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he definitely did not sound like a great public speaker. maybe, you know, Horus has given him a nod of approval. Maybe, fuck, maybe he's a good architect. You know what I mean? Maybe he's just ass at public speaking. That could be the case, you know? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt for now.
Peter. I now welcome Adept Regulus.
I feel like Horus is very two-faced in the book.
Of the mechanical.
Only two faces? Yeah, literally.
Thank you, Lord Warmaster. As the Mechanicum continues studying this world, we are pleased with the technologies that have been secured. Weapons that were employed against us are now being reverse engineered, as are particular defense structures and armor mechanics. Even more exciting is the discovery of 3 standard template construct patterns. These STC patterns were previously unknown to the Mechanicum, and they are being rigorously examined as we speak.
Exceptional work, Adept Regulus. The Emperor will be grateful for this wonderful news. Lord Commander Varvarus, a word on the progress of compliance.
Thank you, Warmaster. As most of you are no doubt aware, General Rakris will be transitioning to a new title, Lord Governor Rakris, ensuring that this world accepts imperial rule and that the political foundation remains stable will not be without its challenges. But we have no doubt that you will find tremendous success as Lord Governor, and we thank you for your continued loyalty to this campaign.
General's settling down, getting a promotion.
Governor of the world. His facial expression wasn't showing it. As worlds are brought to compliance, one of the least desired jobs is to step in and govern the freshly invaded world. Varvarus continued speaking about the progress of the campaign.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, maybe it's not as action-packed, but bro, that sounds like a great choice of retirement. You conquer a world, now you're the governor of it? Fuck, bro. You know, raise it up, make it a fucking jewel of the Imperium. And while you're at it, fucking kick back on a beach, you know? Throw your feet up, fucking drink some wine, you know? Maybe be a little bit corrupt on the side. I mean, they all are. It's the Imperium, let's be honest here. Don't be as corrupt. Don't be a scumbag corrupt, but, you know, a little bit of corruption here and there, you know? Why wouldn't you want that job? It sounds fucking pretty mint to me, I'm just saying. You know? Scuff some numbers here and there. You know, what it is what it is. Gotta get back to work? Yeah, Derek, you take care, man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that, eh?
World. Varvarus continued speaking about the progress of the campaign, and Loken couldn't
You're
help
until the
but
moment
feel
your
sorry
tea this
for
short?
Rakris.
Yeah, well, again, you're the governor.
Loken understood better than most the challenges of bringing the world to true compliance, and knew it would be a long and arduous process. As Varvarus was concluding his briefing, his final words caught the attention of Horus.
We have made great progress and will continue to develop this world. But Lord Governor Rakris will proceed with cautious optimism, as we foresee a long road ahead of us before true imperial equity is achieved.
May I ask, Lord Commander, why is it that you foresee an extended period of time until compliance is achieved? And in your estimation, what is a realistic time frame to achieve it?
As you know, Lord Warmaster, there are always pockets of resistance that organize to defy imperial law. This is the case on many worlds. We are experiencing more significant resistance than originally anticipated in the southern hemisphere. It is difficult to say with certainty, but it could be a decade, maybe longer, until we are able to certify this world.
I see.
A look of disappointment flashed across the War Master's face.
Then the advance of the crusade must be halted. It would be negligent to leave Lord Governor Rakris in charge of a world where considerable friction still remains. If we must remain here to finish our work, then that is what must be done. Though it is a setback, one that is deeply disappointing. Unless there is an alternative course of action.
As Horus glanced in the direction of Abaddon, Loken realized that this is what Torgadon had prepared him for. Loken stepped forward and spoke.
I will say 10 years to compliance. I feel like, honestly, I'm surprised it isn't longer. Now, I don't know if they're going to stay in orbit and deal with that situation in the case of, like, the Luna Wolves are actually going to like go on to planet again and try to clean house there a little bit, or if it's just a case of they'll be there, to try to like offer support if need be, in case of mass resistance measures, right? Because I feel like at that point, right, you station a couple regiments of Imperial Guard on that planet, I'm sure you're fine. You know what I mean? Like it probably won't be too much of a problem. They can probably handle that, right? Like I don't think it would be an issue, but what do I know, right?
What Torgadon had prepared him for. Loken stepped forward and spoke.
Lord Warmaster.
Captain Loken, I welcome the thoughts of the Mournival.
I feel that a clean, calculated strike from the spear tip could quickly root out the remaining insurgents. Employing the full scale of force under Lord Commander Varvarus would only prolong the battle, further postponing the crusade. I do not mean to overstep in any way, but I am of the belief that the Lunar Wolves can swiftly finish the job.
Are you implying, Captain Loken, that I order the entire Legion to the world?
No, Lord Warmaster. 10th Company is more than capable of eliminating the resisting forces. We were the first forces in, and we received tremendous praise for it. But it was premature. I ask that you allow 10th Company the opportunity to finish what we started.
Thoughts, Lord Commander?
I am in full support, Lord Warmaster. The Lunar Wolves could complete the mission in a fraction of the time, and preserve precious resources in doing so.
First, Captain.
I second Lord Commander Varvarus, Lord.
Then the order is made. I thank you, Captain Loken, for speaking up and cutting straight to the point. Please, organize 10th Company for assault, and I look forward to a prompt victory. With that decision, we can prepare for our advance.
Horus looked to his left and smiled.
Guess that answers that question.
Malachor
They're going right
slowly
in.
walked towards the center
Just
of the
10th
platform.
Company, though, but yeah, easily enough.
Equerry, could you please brief us on this matter?
As those in attendance saw Malachurst approaching the platform, they broke into a thunderous applause. Malachurst was a veteran of the Lunar Wolves, one of the sons of Horus, and his loyalty to the War Master was unwavering. Because of this, it surprised no one.
Mournival is literally just Horus's yes men. It is.
The Primarch's equerry.
And like again, 80% of those Horus yes men literally also looked like Horus. So not only is it like a yes man team, but it's also like a fucking like a circle jerk in a way, almost like just on Horus. You know, Horus again, he's, you know, with the arrogance of Horus, you know, and good guy at this point for the most part, but like, yeah, no, I wouldn't put something like that past him. I'm just saying.
He was known to be extremely intelligent, holding a firm grasp on the political aspects of the Legion. Amongst his duties, Malachurst
size comparison, the Lunar Wolves 10th Company is larger than a 40k chapter. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Preventing unnecessary
it's probably like what, like, I mean, let's assume that there's 100,000 Space Marines, right? So 10,000 in each company. So that would make sense to me, right? And now that's not to say it's like a for sure number, right? Like, but yeah, at least like I would say in 10th Company, probably 4 to 10,000, probably something like that, right? If I had to assume.
For the War Master, advising Horus when
they're basically worshipping him. Yeah, they are.
Necessary items from ever reaching him. He was seen as
a big old Horus circle jerk, man.
Loyal only to the War Master and no one else. Because of this, he wasn't popular amongst the others in the Legion, earning him his nickname, the Twisted. But as unliked as Malachurst was, everyone was thrilled to see him step onto the platform. During the assault of 6319, Malachurst's Stormbird was damaged as he was making planetfall, and he was forced to escape via drop pod. Everyone assumed him to be dead, and it wasn't until the Equerry's drop pod had been located that he was found alive, albeit gravely injured. This was the first time in the public eye since he was rescued on the surface of 6319, and the excitement in the room was overwhelming.
I'm very happy to be here with you all. Admittedly, this is because it means that I am no longer lying in bed next to an apothecary.
His comment earned him more laughter and another round of applause. He then activated a holomap and 2 areas lit up on the display.
Before the crusade advances, there are options that I would like to present. We currently have two potential areas to consider. The first, which we will refer to as 85817, is the closest to our current location. There are multiple systems of interest, and many of them appear to have elemental...
That's why Horus ended up liking Loken so much. He was the only one that would say, Horus, that sounds like a stupid fucking idea. He never listened to him, but it's nice to have another opinion. Yeah, that's true too, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like having somebody that isn't just gonna like... like, you know, as good as it is to always have that suction in your vicinity, you know what I'm saying? That's nice. But having a little bit of pushback at times too, you know, that keeps things interesting. I feel like for Horus, you know, the type of guy that Horus is you already have so many, like, you know, like Horus meat gobblers that you don't need, like, you know, like somebody that isn't a meat muncher is nice, you know, having the opinions of not a meat muncher, you know, is actually validating. Even if you just have them as like a, you know, a side piece that you don't listen to, you know what I mean? It's still like, okay, you know what I mean? It's good to hear that opinion.
There are multiple systems of interest, and many of them appear to have elemental resources. Preliminary reports indicate that there are no life forms in these systems, and I would therefore deem this area a low priority.
The hololithic display zoomed in on the second area, and data pertaining to the system began to flash across the map.
The second area, in my opinion, deserves a closer look. We are approximately 12 standard weeks out from this system, and as such our scouts have yet to reach the area. But we have received communication from the 140th expedition of the Blood Angels. They are reporting opposition to Imperial forces. Communication from the 140th has been intermittent, but the last transmission indicated that they had gone to war with enemy forces. Xenos forces. I have attempted to communicate with the 140th to see if they require support, but have not received a response. With that being said, migrating towards their location seems to be the most logical option.
I agree. I will speak with Sanguinius in regards to this situation, but these are our brothers, and a failure to support them in a time of war could prove to be pernicious. Thank you, Equerry, for providing the intelligence. To the rest of you, I thank you for your time and diligence. This briefing is dissolved, and we will reconvene in 2 days.
The bridge began to clear out, and Loken's Mournival brothers congratulated him.
Nice job, Garvey. I half expected you to stumble over your words, but you made me proud.
You did an excellent job. Confident and direct. The War Master respects those who aren't intimidated by his presence.
And you aren't intimidated when speaking to the War Master under these circumstances.
I used to be, but I'm not anymore. It gets easier over time. Here's a tip for you. Look at his feet.
His feet?
Yes. If you look into his eyes, you'll forget your words before they have the chance to leave your mouth.
Abaddon had been speaking
what
with
kind
the
of
War
fucking
Master
bitch
before he
behavior
left
is that?
his chamber and walked over to his brothers.
Great job, Garville. All that's left for you to do is clean up the last of the insurgents when you and your men get down there.
I will, sir.
It's Ezekiel. Now, enough chatting. The War Master would like a word with us.
The Mournival walked through the pristine glass doors into the War Master's private chamber. It sat below the audience galleries of the bridge, and it was just as magnificent as one would imagine it to be. The back wall was constructed entirely of glass, and Loken caught himself gazing at the brilliance of the stars on the other side.
Good guy is a relative
chamber,
term. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, when I say good guy in like the context of 40k, no one's good. Like, don't think I'm like literally calling him like a good guy. I just mean he's like not a fucking chaos worshiper, like ripping the fucking guts out of like your body and shoving them down your throat kind of guy yet. You know what I mean? Like, because like in the context of what they're doing, it's not great, but it's a fuckload better than what it potentially could be, right? So when I say the word like good, I try to do like the quotation mark thing, right? I don't mean like, you know what I mean? I don't literally mean like he's he's a good guy, you know what I mean? I more mean like he's better than a potential alternative at this point, right? And especially what he does eventually become, he's a lot better than that, right? When I say good, just assume that means better, right? When we're talking about 40k at least, okay? When we're talking about 40k.
On the other side. The Mournival stood towards the back.
I should make
of the
that like
chamber,
clear. I don't mean I'm not
waiting
calling him a
quietly
good
until they
guy,
were
right?
called
I should
upon by
make
Horus.
that clear.
There were only a few others in the chamber, 2 Astartes adorned in yellow armor, standing near a sleek, leather couch in front of the glass wall. Horus and Malachers were in conversation with a figure much larger than the Astartes in yellow armor. A giant. Rogel Dorn, Primarch of the Imperial Fists. Loken found himself in awe of what he was seeing. The sight of 2 Primarchs talking informally right in front of him felt strange. Loken was not yet used to the new, still unfamiliar status that his elevation to the Mournival presented him, and he realized that this was the smallest room that him and Dorn had ever occupied at the same time. The 2 Imperial Fists walked over to stand and wait with the Mournival. Loken's brothers knew these Astartes well, but he had yet to formally meet either one of them.
Captain
Oh,
Loken,
Sigismund.
your plan has my full support.
Holy shit.
Get in, eliminate the threat, and get out.
Of course, Sigismund would be all for that
There's a
shit.
plan. Evict the last of the insurgents, so Lord Governor Rakris could start rebuilding with a clean slate. I'm looking forward to the day when this finally ends.
Fucking goat right here.
When the last world is
The
brought to
goat, yeah,
compliance,
literally.
and we can finally rest.
Sigismund squinted his eyes and gave Loken a look of skepticism.
The day when this finally ends.
It's always a good
Is
day
that
when we see
supposed to be a
Sigismund on
joke?
screen.
I'm not sure what leads you to believe I'm joking.
It'll never
This
end.
crusade
Yeah.
will never
There it is.
end. Never.
Sigismund
The
laying down
galaxy
some law.
is endless, Captain Loken. The further we venture out, the more worlds we discover. Our thirst to conquer them will never be quenched.
Imagine like this depressing statement. Like, realistically speaking, right? Garviel has met Sigismund. This is like the first, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds of them meeting. They shook hands. Hey, Loken, Sigismund, Loken. Okay, cool. This crusade will never end. The galaxy is endless, Captain Loken. Like, holy fuck. Like, whoa, whoa, like, off rip like that, man. Like, calm her down. Like, listen, brother, like, we're just here to take out some insurgents. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, oh, man. Holy shit.
Discover. Our thirst to conquer them will never be quenched.
I completely disagree. Why is it that you think we are embarking on this crusade? It is to bring peace to the stars.
That's quite an optimistic view of our mission. It seems to me that our crusade of bringing peace to the stars is impossible. The nature of mankind makes it so.
Loken was uncomfortable with how the conversation had turned, taken aback by Sigismund's fatalistic view.
I don't believe such a thing.
Sigismund is really intense for an Astartes? Oh yeah, he is.
And I trust in our
He doesn't give a
reason
fuck.
for unifying all under Imperial rule. The day we stop believing
Man's actually
that
just a Chad.
will be a sad one indeed.
Captain Loken, I've heard a lot about you. Knowing what you have accomplished and what you
Nice.
have done for the Lunar Wolves, I am honored to be standing before you. But your naive perspective astonishes me.
Oh.
Our lives will be spent fighting for the security of the Imperium. And if the day ever comes that it is truly secured, the time we have left will be spent fighting to prevent it from collapsing. We're fighting for preservation. I don't see peace in our future. I see war.
Like how the man literally just said, like, yeah, Garviel, I like you, but you're also a fucking idiot and your opinion's wrong. like he's straight up just like, yeah, like, yeah, guy, like, damn, Sigismund, he's really laying it down thick. His first meeting, isn't he? Holy shit, dude.
I don't see peace in our future.
I like you, but you're fucking wrong. Like, get over it.
Torgadon could feel the tension between the two, and
Damn,
tried his
dude.
best to de-escalate the situation.
Don't worry about him, Garvey. Brother Sigismund is more sensitive than most. His feelings are hurt that his legion's withdrawing from the battle, leaving all the glory for us lunar wolves.
Ah, withdrawing, are we? Being summoned to terror
He's
by
throwing
the Emperor
bolters and
himself
power swords at
to
that
protect
point.
the Imperial Palace. I think you're confused as to who will be receiving the glory. Besides,
I don't know,
you're
man.
sadly mistaken if you lunar wolves believe you'll be bringing the crusade to its conclusion.
Oh.
The Imperial fists will have ample opportunity to return to the stars, and when we do, no one will remember you poor lunar wolves.
Torgadon smiled, feeling content that he had calmed Sigismund down.
Sigismund is fucking straight up like... I don't know if he's like fishing here, man, but Sigismund is fucking like, you know... He's actually just edging the fuck out of these guys right now, like straight up, yeah. Like this, I'd be like, yo, like cousin what? Holy shit.
Maybe I should slap you around a bit, and we'll see if you remember the lunar wolves, huh?
I'd rather you didn't. First Captain Sigismund whines enough as it is. I don't need you giving him a beating and making it even worse.
Rogel Doran got as close to smiling as was possible for him, and everyone else laughed at his friendly banter.
Captain Loken, may I speak with you?
Everyone except Sigismund.
Loken nodded and followed him into the corner of the chamber,
Sigismund
leaving his
deadpan,
brothers and the
fucking
Imperial fists to
straight-faced.
chat amongst themselves.
How are you getting along, Captain?
Very well, Lord. Getting acquainted with my new position.
You're not used to the likes of me, are you, Loken?
No, Lord. Not yet, at least.
It's refreshing. Ezekiel, Tarik, and Aximund. They've spent so much time around my brother that they are desensitized to it. You are not. You feel the weight. You understand that a Primarch is not like a man or an Astartes. I understand what I am capable of. I understand what is expected of me. But sometimes the thought of what I am, it makes me shudder.
What I am.
Do you suppose Horus ever feels the same way?
I don't believe so, Lord. I'm not sure he's capable of forming a thought that isn't rooted in self-confidence.
Damn.
I agree with you. That is why he was the correct choice to become War Master.
That's fair.
My brother's self-confidence is what makes you even more important.
Lord?
You're the only one that checks
a man
him.
is only as good as the counsel he receives. This is true for anyone, even the War Master. And when someone is as self-confident as the War Master, it is even more critical that he is surrounded by those that are tempered and honest.
The Mournival.
I surround myself with those that I trust. I know that Sigismund will tell me the truth, even if I don't like it. He does not become weak in the presence of a demigod. He shows strength. He keeps me honest. You must do this for your lord.
I will, Lord.
Your name was not the first that was put forward to join the Mournival. There were others. Cediray, Cruz.
Honorable warriors. They would have done well.
They are sycophants, bloodthirsty. Cediray wants nothing more than conflict, and he would blindly guide the Lunar Wolves towards unnecessary war. Cruz wouldn't hesitate for a moment to say or do anything, so long as he thought it would keep him in my brother's favor. I've had my eye on you for years, Captain Loken. This is why I vouched for you. The Mournival needs courage, a voice strong enough to stand up against opposing views.
I am honored, Lord.
Some of our brothers aren't as understanding as I am. They didn't agree with the decision to elect Horus the War Master. They need to see Horus is firmly in control, and I believe that you can properly guide my brother. What makes you unique, Captain, and I mean no offense by this, but it's your humanity that sets you apart. I see something very human in you that I don't see in other Astartes.
Interesting.
The gravity of this conversation was not lost on Loken.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's very cool that Rogel is taking Loken aside like this and actually having this conversation with him, like man to man, you know what I mean? Or a fucking Primarch to Astartes, I guess, more like. But like, he's actually like sitting down having this conversation with him, like, hey, yeah, like, you know, he is very self-confident. The Legion is self-confident. He's surrounding himself with self-confident individuals that don't allow themselves to doubt what they're doing, regardless of what it is. You actually have a bit of humanity. You could potentially check his fucking brash ideas, you know what I mean? And Rogel is actually coming to just a regular Astartes in his brother's Legion, not even his Legion, but his brother's Legion, to have this conversation. I think that's very interesting, and that just goes to show, too, that Dorn is almost looking out. I don't know if Dorn is looking out for the Imperium as a whole here, or if he's actually, like, specifically trying to look out for the War Master, right? His brother, Horus, at this point, right? Actually trying to keep him on the up and up, trying to, like, you know, make sure he doesn't just, like, succumb to just, like, be, you know, like, psychopathy. What's the word I'm looking for? Sociopathy? What's the, you know what I'm talking about. So he doesn't just succumb and be psychopathic, you know what I mean? Like, he's not just, like, conquering and killing with no end in sight. He's just brash. He's actually trying to, like, keep him in check, I think, for his own good, I think. I don't know if Rogel is doing that for humanity's sake, for the Empire's sake, or because it's his brother, you know, and he cares for him. You know, it's hard to say. Maybe both. It could be both, too. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Hard to say.
Astartes. The gravity of this conversation was not
Rogel
lost
considers
on
Horus
Loken,
his best friend.
and he
That's
felt
fair.
an equal mixture of pride and distress.
I think both. I think both, too.
This
I think
responsibility is not to be taken lightly.
I think probably both.
And I feel the weight of it.
Be yourself. I support.
Because, yeah, Rogel does have a close relationship with Horus, right? He does care about him. So I feel like it probably is the case of, like, yeah, we want to make sure as War Master, like, you know, we're not just fucking losing our minds to war. Yeah, you know what I mean? We're not just conquering endlessly, but we also want to give diplomacy a try, too. Make sure he doesn't lose himself in that regard. But also, he is my fucking brother. He is my friend. And I do care about him, right? Like, that's what it is.
Feel the weight of it.
Be yourself. I supported your nomination for a reason. I can rest easy as I return to Terra, knowing that you are part of the Monivol.
With all due respect,
hey, MedJokerJ, how you doing, man?
You speak
Good
of
to see you.
Cellectra and his hunger for battle. I have done no different. I just proposed a war.
I heard you do just that, Captain. You articulated your case rather elegantly. With time and with experience, you'll learn how to navigate your role. Sometimes you must stand up and advise, and other times you must allow the War Master to use you.
Allow the War Master to use me?
However he pleases.
Yes, Captain.
Don't forget
Horus
that.
is presenting himself as a peacemaker, one that appeals to many worlds
Holy
within
shit.
the Imperium. The suggestion to go to war needed to come from someone else.
Vengeful Spirit,
Euphrates and 5 other remembrancers.
Embarkation deck, yeah.
Euphrates and 5 other remembrancers walked down the corridor of the embarkation deck.
Oh no.
The size of the deck was incredible, and she found it difficult to comprehend that this is one of 6 decks on the Vengeful Spirit. Echory Malachurst had granted access for the remembrancers to document the Luna Wolves before they made their descent to 6319. They carefully followed the lead of an iterator who guided them through the loud, bustling deck. He made it very clear that taking pics in this area was prohibited, but Kior had no intentions of abiding by that rule. She captured images of the massive, white stormbirds on their launch carriages, and of the servitors that were doing maintenance work on them.
Hey, I thought we weren't allowed to take pics in here.
We're not, but if they didn't want that to happen, they shouldn't have invited imagists.
As they walked further into
Yikes.
the deck, Kior spotted another iterator, one that she...
You know, that's like that's like the same like mentality like a lot of like let's call them tourists have when they go to like North Korea, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's worked less well for some people doing that shit in the past. Like, yeah, I feel like if you're taking pictures of shit that you shouldn't be, they might genuinely take issue with that, depending, right? Like in this case, probably not, but damn, dude, I if someone told me not to take a fucking picture of something, especially in this context, you bet your ass I wouldn't be taking pictures. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna risk, you know, like what could potentially happen. Fuck that, you know. Conquering is the easy part. Govern, stabilizing, adding planet to the empire is not. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, like you gotta actually be able to stabilize the planet too. You can't just like burn everything to the ground. And if you do burn everything to the fucking ground, then what was the point in conquering it to begin with, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, the whole famous line of like, you know, they can grow my wheat for me after they're beaten kind of thing. If you kill the entire population of the place you're trying to subjugate, what the fuck was the point in subjugating it? Land, maybe? Okay. But yeah, Imperium don't need more land. It needs more hands in the factory. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like doesn't do them any good to just execute everybody if they can help it, right? Now, if they're heretics and they believe in the wrong thing, all of them, well, you know, but we try not to do that if we can help it, of course, you know.
As they walk further into the deck, Keeler spotted
Andre is the best goated guardsman. Dude, Andre is sick. Or Andre is sick, yeah.
Caught her gaze and smiled as he gave her a polite nod. She continued walking with the group, but couldn't help but wonder where Mercity was. She had been one of the 6 that was approved for access, but when everyone had arrived to meet the Iterator that morning, Mercity wasn't there. Instead, another Remembrancer was selected to take her place.
And of course, I should, of course, add, now that entire perspective also depends entirely on the color of the armor of your subjugator. Of course, don't keep that in mind too, right? Keep that in mind.
Mercity wasn't there. Instead, another Remembrancer was selected to take her place. Her thoughts were interrupted by the sound of a low, heavy drum hit. As the booming sound of the drum continued, 300 Astartes in their magnificent white armor marched onto the deck. They all stopped at once, standing perfectly still in lines of 50. Keeler watched in amazement as they assembled for war and prepared to make planetfall. The fluidity of the process was an incredible sight. The 300 giant warriors boarded their ships and prepared their weapons as if they had practiced this exact scenario thousands of times.
They have.
These Astartes have already taken their oaths of moment.
What's an oath of moment?
It is the oath that each soldier of the Imperium takes. They swear their oath in the moments before their mission begins, hence it is called the Oath of Moment.
Haven't they already sworn an oath to the Imperium?
They have, but the Oath of Moment binds them directly to the mission they are embarking on. It is a specific oath, and they are pledging to an individual task.
Cinderman and the Remembrancers spoke quietly to each other in the background, and the Lunar Wolves had all been assigned to their Stormbirds. Now, only 4 Astartes remained on the embarkation deck.
This is a moment you do not want to miss.
As Captain Loken kneeled before the 3 other Astartes, Keeler nervously captured as many pics as she could.
Oath of Moment is a precursor to the Purity Seal? I actually didn't know that. That's actually really cool. I had no idea. So they started getting Purity Seals and they got rid of the Oath of Moment. They don't do that anymore in modern 40k. Is that true? Interesting. Damn. Hello, Reclusiarch. Maybe you should salute me now. Hell's Reach is written during 4th edition. Templar lore has grown massively since then, including them now worshipping Big E as a god. Yeah, that's true. Like, oh yeah, you guys are talking about Hell's Reach. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I was missing a couple chats there, I guess. Hell's Reach is a blessed Black Templar book. Changed my mind. Yeah, fucking Hell's Reach is great, man. Hell's Reach is great, and like to see, yeah, I guess like it's cool because that was like one of the first big works that we actually checked out on the channel was Hell's Reach. So I got to like, you know, learn about the Black Templars first, I guess, in a sense. So they'll always have like a, you know, in terms of Warhammer, right, a place close to me, I guess, for that. And just like the way that they are, right? They you know. They're a sick ass faction. They're kick ass. You know, their chapter really stands for the Emperor. It's hard to think, like when you guys think of the Imperium, right? And I'm sure this answer will be different from everyone. And it can be a chapter, it can be a legion, whatever have you. But when you guys think of a Space Marine, what's the first like chapter legion that comes to your mind? And I think for me, it's probably the Black Templars because I have that relation of like, this was the first big work I saw, you know, the black, the white, You know what I mean? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Ultramarines, that's fair. Ultramarines are pretty common. See, Ultramarines were not the first like Space Marine that I like really learned about, though. You know, for me personally, right? But I can absolutely see why that is the case. Because they are the most like common, I guess. You see them the most again. And now that I know more about 40k, I absolutely do agree. Like, they are the most like you do hear and see about the Ultramarines a fucking lot. To be fair.
Captured as many picks
per chapter. It's easily Black Templars. I'd have to agree.
Captain was always the last person to take their oath of moment. And look at this. The rest of the Mournival is standing by to witness Captain Loken's
per chapter, right? For Legion, I don't know.
Keywar never stopped taking picks, and as Captain Loken swore his oath,
it'd either be Ultramarine
Keywar captured
or
one particular
Fist,
image that would stand out from all the others.
Legion.
A perfectly framed shot of Loken on one knee, surrounded by Abaddon, Torgadon, and Aximan. And true to its name, it was only a moment later that Loken's oath was sworn.
I'd probably lean more
He
Imperial
loaded
Fist
into
for
his
Legion.
Stormbird and prepared to depart.
For me, right?
Everyone, our time is up. Please follow me.
As they filed into the observation deck, the Remembrancers were elated, still processing the once-in-a-lifetime moment they had just witnessed. The documentarists scribbled furiously to capture every detail of the experience, while a couple of others stood by the observation windows,
I agree with that.
hoping to catch a glimpse of the Stormbirds making their descent. Cinderman was busy in conversation with a man that had entered the deck only moments before. Keywar sat alone, scanning the images that she had taken on her pictor. She was pleased with what she was able to get, but her eyes kept returning to the Mournival image. She knew it was special, something worth celebrating.
If I could please ask for your attention, Remembrancers. Equerry Malachurst would like to make an announcement.
I have spoken with senior officers of the expedition, and after careful consideration, it has been decided that 6 Remembrancers will be permitted to travel to the surface to observe the mission.
The Remembrancers couldn't believe their luck, and there was nothing they could do that would hide the excitement on their faces.
This decision was intensely debated. There were, and still are, concerns about what you may see on the surface. For anyone who has never been to one.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot. Big thank you to Hobbit there for 10 gifted memberships. Holy shit. I appreciate that a lot, man. Thank you. Thank you. Big thank you to Hobbit in the chat, guys. If you guys got a membership there, make sure you come use it. Say thank you to Hobbit there in the chat, and come on down and join our Discord if you're not a part of that, right? You can claim your rank. All you got to do, of course, is link your Discord to your YouTube. Claim your Hastati rank there. Thank you, Hobbit. Thank you, man. We're probably going to get spammed with those notification sounds. I need to do something about that, honestly. I really do need to do something about that, because goddamn, you know, I don't know if I need to, like, make it quieter or make it a different noise or whatever, because I also thought it would, like, happen once for the notification, but it happens each individual time, too, so it just happens, like, 10 times in a row. It's cool, though. No, I really appreciate that, Hobbit. Thank you so much for that, man. Thank you. Wow.
War zones can be shocking and disturbing. We ultimately felt, however, that being transparent about what we do in matters of war would be the best course of action.
Andrew caught one? Oh yeah, Andrew did catch one.
The Remembrancers to celebrate and document.
He was the first one to catch it that time. Damn.
If they do not witness it firsthand.
The Remembrancers quietly nodded their heads in agreement.
There were also concerns about your safety, especially after the disastrous incident with that Remembrancer being assaulted on the surface earlier this week.
Keeler and Bradstreet glanced at each other with looks of confusion. This was the first time that they had heard of any such incident, and Keeler was intrigued as to what had happened.
With that being said, we consider this mission to be low risk, and you will be kept at a safe distance from any dangerous areas.
To second what Equerry Malachurst said, you will be accompanied by me at all times, as per the War Master's direct orders.
The observation deck began abruptly shaking, and through the viewing windows, they bore witness to the sight of a dozen Stormbirds launching towards 6319.
An incident of a Remembrancer being attacked on the surface. What do you think that was about?
Whoever could it be? Our friend that we haven't seen in a week? Like, what the fuck? I like how everyone just forgot about him.
As the Stormbird descended to the surface below, Loken walked down the corridor and entered the cockpit.
What's going on with the Vox? It sounds like there's some conversation, but I can't make out who it is or what they're saying.
Yeah, that was...
I hear it too, Captain.
It was a bit scary, wasn't it?
The atmospherics are creating a signal disturbance.
That didn't sound like that.
Signal disturbance? That's a new one.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Captain, I don't have another explanation. The vengeful spirit isn't detecting it, but I got reports from the other Stormbird officers. They're experiencing the same disruptions we are.
Listen, you hear it? It's getting worse.
It must be something on the surface that is interfering with our frequency. The closer we get, the stronger the interference is. That must be why the vengeful spirit isn't picking up on it.
We can't deploy 10th Company on the ground if this is what we're getting over Vox. Do something to fix it, and quickly.
I can try and reroute the signal through a buffer, Captain. Give me just a second.
The officer adjusted a number of controls, concentrating on a dizzying amount of screens and knobs.
Chaos
that
at the end of the chat.
Panel.
Yeah, bro, like, I'm just gonna say it now. I start hearing that shit over my radio means, you know, the vengeful spirit, the warship can't fucking pick it up, but, you know, only individual Stormbirds, like, transporting troops to the ground can as you're getting closer to target. Bro, my sus meter, like, my spidey senses would be fucking, like, you know, like, bro, I don't know what the fuck's going on down there, but I don't really want a part of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Samus, the bitch boy demon, I do recall, yeah, Samus, that's, yeah, he's the demon, isn't he? Fuck. Wow. Damn, dude. Holy shit. If only they had chat GPT in 30K, yeah, true.
Controls, concentrating on a dizzying amount of screens and knobs. That
Samus is the man at your side.
Let's try it now.
Voice in your head. Doesn't Samus get his ass beat, if I recall?
We can work with this, but I still can't make out the voice.
The flight officer turned back to the control panel and made more adjustments. And all of a sudden, the voices they were
only
hearing
they'd
over
watched
the box
Ghostbusters,
became
true.
much more clear.
It is all around you. It means the end and the death.
Who is that?
I have no idea, Captain. The data is scrambled.
Samus. It is the only name you hear. Samus.
He does. He sadly becomes a jobber, but his first appearance is rather good.
Loki
Yeah.
was completely transfixed.
Yeah, if I recall, it was the case of, like, he comes out, he's, like, a fucking, like, terrifying being, and then he just becomes, like, fodder, essentially, if I recall. We're obviously gonna keep watching, but, like, I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure, yeah.
This is the man beside you.
Loken was completely transfixed by the distant voice he was hearing on the Vox, and he struggled to make sense of it.
Yeah, bro, this is Dead Space vibes. Like, I ain't doing that.
All around you. Samus will gnaw upon your bones. Samus is here.
The Vox went dead, and all that remained was static.
I don't know what I just heard.
What you just heard, officer, was our enemy trying to scare us.
It worked.
It
Turn
isn't
around.
going to work.
What? Garviel, it totally did work. Your pants are brown right now. What are you talking about? Let's leave. Like, I ain't doing that. Fuck that.
The sun was rising.
Like what? Morale is
casting
at an
rays of
all-time
light
low.
on the mountain range known as the Whisperheads. In contrast to the high city, the air was thin in the southern hemisphere of 6319. The altitude was much higher here, and it held the appearance of a different world altogether. Instead of
Is that
developed
trying? He's
cities with
doing it?
modern
Yeah,
buildings
bro.
that
Like,
peek through the
like, if I heard that coming over the Vox, as we're going in for a landing on some alien world, there's only supposed to be, like, inserted through our Vox. We can't detect it. Scrambled signal, no data on it. Like, we're only supposed to be fighting humans, and they're interfering with our Vox transmissions. How the fuck are they doing that? Like, that ain't some normal shit, bro. Like, no. Like, yes, I'm probably going to let out a little wee, and I'm turning the ship around. Like, we're not prepared, 10th Company alone? No. Like, this is a little bit bigger now at this point, I feel like. Like, how are they hacking into our Vox transmissions? That's sus as fuck. No risk. Ain't no way.
Different world altogether. Instead of developed cities with modern buildings that peek through the clouds, the southern hemisphere was desolate. Near the base of the mountain range were poorly maintained backwater villages. The residents feared for their lives as they watched the 16th
But you're a space marine, you know no fear.
enter the atmosphere and touch down on the dry,
let me
lost
tell you.
surface. 10th Company dispersed from their ships
It's gonna be
and
fear
quickly
known today.
organized themselves into squads. It hadn't taken much time at all for Loken to determine that the conditions were less than optimal. Following the advice of Aximand, Loken had selected Nero Vipus to oversee 10th Company. This was a blow to the ego of Xavier Jubal, who was upset by the fact that he was not chosen to replace Loken. Jubal had been sulking ever since the announcement was made, and to make matters worse, the men on the ground were showing deference to him instead of Vipus. Reports from the Imperial Army, who had already been stationed in the southern hemisphere, informed Loken of their difficulties containing the zealots from the villages. And, unfortunately, the Vox disturbances were just as active now as they had been during their descent. Loken wanted to stay true to his word. His plan was to get in, finish off the enemy, and get out. He knew from intelligence reports that the insurgents had fled to a makeshift base in the mountains and had taken up defensive positions along the perimeter of it.
Lunar Wolves, let us waste no time. Rasek, Terminator Squad is to lead the charge. I want you to clear the path for Hellbore. Jubal, follow right behind, and once there is an opening, I want your squad to be the first strike.
It wasn't much in Loken's mind, but publicly asking Jubal to lead the first assault strike instead of Vipus was enough to finally end his moping.
Let's make the War Master proud.
They charged ahead, the sergeants leading their squads towards the mountain range. Loken and Vipus stayed behind, and headed towards a group of army regiments that had taken up cover behind a rock barricade.
I'm impressed, Captain.
Got some guard
Your
present?
political skills have improved greatly since joining the Morniville.
You understand, Nero?
Of course I do. If grabbing the glory on the way in will help Jubal snap out of it, I'm all for it.
Jubal will be fine. His chance will come soon enough.
I want to ask you something.
No one
What
had
do
a
you make
concept
of
of
this
chaos at this time?
Sam-
Yeah, I know. I know nobody had a concept of chaos, but I'm just saying, like, the second, like, that shit starts to happen, like, you start hearing sweet nothings come over your Vox radio, talking about, like, oh, Samus is coming for you, Samus is gonna fucking find you in the night, Samus will fucking gnaw on your bones, fucking, he's here, he's all around you, and it doesn't fucking stop, and then suddenly it just quits. No data on it. They're in your Vox transmissions. Where is the fucking source of this transmission? Where is it coming from? How are they communicating with us in this ethereal type way? You know what I mean? It's not ethereal, right? But like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's a lot of sus shit happening, and it's like, yeah, I'd be a little on edge. Okay, maybe I wouldn't be scared, right? I don't have any concept of like chaos or demons or none of this bullshit, right? But you know, I'd still be a little bit like, that's a little bit suspicious, isn't it? I mean, how are they, that right there, you know? Don't think I agree.
Enough.
I want to ask you something. What do you make of this?
Yeah, some kind of
Xenos?
Xenos, exactly.
It's
Some
about the only
alien is
damn
fucking.
thing I've heard on the Vox since
Yeah.
we left the Vengeful Spirit.
I wouldn't give it much thought. It's nothing more than a scare tactic.
Yeah, scare tactic. It's like Hannah
The
being blared
Imperial Army
over your
soldiers
ears,
did not
dude.
have the benefit of enhanced pulmonary systems like the
Holy shit.
Astartes, and were utilizing rebreathers to combat the altitude.
Sir, the village of Kasheri is fully compliant. The remaining insurgents have retreated from the surrounding villages and have taken up high ground.
Thank you. We'll assume control moving forward.
We've had difficulties taking the bridges, sir. They have a strong position over us and attack with heavy cannons any time we attempt to approach. Also,
As I said, we'll assume control from here.
I get that you're Astartes, sir, but with all due respect, we've been here for over a month. You haven't even been here 15 minutes.
We'll only
I
be
think
here 20
debriefing
more.
with us would be to your benefit.
I disagree.
Oh.
Head back to your command post, soldier. We're more than capable of handling the situation.
Yeah, well, good luck to you. I didn't want to stay in this haunted place anyway.
The soldier turned his back on Loken and began walking away, but Loken called out to him and stopped him in his tracks.
Haunted place.
Soldier, what did you just say to me?
I said I didn't want to stay in this place anyway.
Are you sure that's what you said?
This haunted place.
Haunted? Are you confessing to me a belief in spirits?
No, of course not. But this place isn't... I don't know how to say it. The mountains. They're called the Whisperheads for a reason.
A superstitious reason. Look at the people in these villages. I can't imagine what other superstitions would...
See, and then you get on the ground, and now, like, the guardsmen stationed there are telling you about the sweet nothings that they've heard. You know, they're saying, yeah, there's a lot of, like, weird happenings going on. A lot of black cats been sighted around here. A lot of fucking, like, you know, crows in the mountainsides. You know, thought I saw a figure in the mist, but, you know, maybe just a trick of the eye, as a mirage, maybe have you, you know. Yeah, it's not, yeah, I don't know. I just, you know, losing my fucking mind up here in these mountains, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no. Again, one thing after another, you know, it's how many things before it starts to be like, maybe it's not like a coincidence, maybe it's not a scare tactic, maybe we should start to like consider this a little more, you know? I don't know. I get it, but like also, holy shit, you know? I would be on edge. Hearing that shit, and then hearing like from a guardsman, like, yeah, he's on edge and they've been here and there's reasons why they're on edge. Yeah, I don't know.
Look at the people in these villages. I can't imagine what other superstitions or Dark Age myths they believe in.
I don't care what these people believe in. I've heard the whispers myself, sir. Voices.
Voices?
I need to hear Hanoi Hannah saying she'll gnaw on my
Usually at
bones.
night, not always, though.
Feast on your soul, gnaw on
Sometimes
your
in broad
bones.
daylight.
Yeah, literally.
Ever since we got here, I've been hearing them. On the Vox.
The voices you're hearing on the Vox are from our enemy. Childish games from fools whose minds have been ruined.
That's what I thought too. So I turned the Vox unit off. But the voices didn't stop.
Then perhaps it's time that you got your head checked.
Damn.
What about my men? Should they all get their heads checked too?
Like,
Every single one of them has heard the voices. I'm not crazy, sir. None of us are.
And what are those voices saying?
That Samus is here. Samus is all around us.
Like, I don't know, man. I'd be fucking...
Who is Samus?
Samus.
Man, who's
I
this
don't recognize
Samus?
the name.
Me either. But I keep hearing it on the Vox channel.
The Remembrancers had just disembarked their lander ships and were walking through the village of Kashiri.
Then you got the fucking, like, the tourist group coming in here to take pictures and shit. Like, bro, god damn it. Like, these people don't know what they're in for at all here.
Remembrancers had just disembarked their lander ships and were walking through the village of Kashiri. It was cold, much colder than the Remembrancers had expected it to be, and they quickly understood why they needed to be outfitted with rebreather masks. They could hear the sounds of battle in the distance, but they were not yet permitted to enter the war zone. The seemingly deserted village was their designated safe area, and they were instructed to stay there until they received clearance to leave. The battle had only just begun, and having Remembrancers wandering around an active war zone before the enemy had been neutralized would have been a terrible idea.
Yeah, that would have been awful.
The village was surrounded by Imperial soldiers, and there was nothing for them to do but wait and listen to the Vox chatter. Bradstreet had been listening to it for nearly an hour at this point, and had lost track of how many times he heard the name Samus.
I overheard one of the soldiers saying that the Vox has been acting up for a week, maybe longer. They think it's the enemy trying to scare us.
And I am certain that's all it is.
Cinderman walked away to stand by himself, then looked down and began tapping the screen on his data slate. He studied it for a few moments, then unknowingly spoke to himself after reading something on the data slate screen.
Very interesting.
What's very interesting?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking out loud.
Thinking about what?
It's truly nothing, Euphrates. Please feel free to explore the village and capture pics of the soldiers and their armored vehicles.
No offence to the soldiers, but I don't much care to take pics of them or their vehicles. I'm more interested in what you saw on your data slate that piqued your interest.
Euphrates, there's so much to see down here. Don't allow me to bore you with this.
If it's about Samus, I promise it won't bore me. I would very much like to hear about it.
Cinderman sighed, then smiled as he slowly shook his head.
Your diligence impresses me, Euphrates. Yes, I was reading about Samus, but from what I've read here, it's actually rather silly.
But you didn't say this is rather silly. You said very interesting.
Both things can be true.
I suppose so.
Those mountains in the distance, they're called the Whisperheads. The literature I brought up on the data slate refers to the Whisperheads as a holy place. Apparently they are called the Whisperheads because it is the only place on this world where you can hear the whispers of the spirits. Samus, according to this, is one of those spirits.
And why do you find that to be silly?
Because spirits do not exist, and believing in such things is silly.
Then what about it was interesting to you?
The fact that Samus is here?
Even though such superstitions are at odds with the imperial truth, I can't help but find the topics fascinating. They are incontestably false, but I have always found the belief systems of ancient cultures to be intriguing, if nothing else.
Samus is our candidate, yeah.
Samus is a spirit, and that's what the voices are.
Of course not. The voices on the Vox are just the enemy attempting to intimidate us.
But I don't have a Vox, sir. And I've been hearing the voices ever since the ship landed.
What, in your head, or...?
The Lunar Wolves had been in battle for only 45 minutes, but they already felt confident that they had seized control.
You hearing this, Coop?
The insurgents did their best to hold their position, firing heavy cannons, sentry guns, and detonating charges. These tactics successfully held off the troops.
Again, like, even in, like, the mythology of this fucking planet, like, there's some fucking weird shit, like some Samus character, you know, and people are hearing it in their heads and shit on the Vox radio. I feel like if it's coming through the Vox and in people's heads, like, that's some weird shit. Yeah, she's hearing it without a Vox, yeah. Yeah, so it's like either everybody here is undergoing severe mental issues the second they make Planetfall, which would be quite the fucking coincidence, or there's genuinely something fucked going on here. And I feel like to not take that seriously is a little bit suspicious, you know? Damn.
Sentry guns and detonating charges. These tactics successfully held off the troops of Lord Commander Varvarus for nearly 6 weeks, but they did nothing to slow down the Lunar Wolves. The shields were crushed by the Terminator squads, and their sentry fire ricocheted off the Lunar Wolves' armor. As their perimeter defenses were crushed by the Astartes, the insurgents retreated further into their fortress, which lay deep within the Whisperheads. By the time Loken had made it inside the fortress, enemy corpses had already started to pile up. He walked down a dark, blood-stained corridor when he came across one of the wounded enemies. The man was wheezing, barely hanging on to life. He spoke, but Loken couldn't understand what the man said, and he knelt down beside him.
What is it?
Dying insurgent.
Please, before I die, pray for me.
I can't do that.
I beg of you. I will be banished. I perish without being blessed.
I'm sorry. It will all be over soon.
Just one prayer.
Just say it. Just say it, just one.
For my God.
There are no gods.
Oh.
Loken put the man out of his misery and advanced through
Damn,
the fortress.
dude.
He entered a much larger
Holy
chamber
shit.
and found that Vipus was already inside.
Yikes.
Water dripped slowly from the dark black ceiling, and in the middle of the chamber, a large hole was cut into the floor. Loken initially thought the pool was there to collect water reserves. He felt a chill run through his body as he looked closer. Glass containers, clay dolls, and animal skulls were set around the edges of the pool. Above it, words had been chiseled into the rock overhang, but Loken couldn't read the words as they were written in a language he was unfamiliar with.
What is this?
Looks like some kind of shrine. We found 20 others just like it. We destroyed them, just like we're going to destroy this one.
Loken stood silently for a moment, staring down at the pool.
Do you ever think about, well, what could have become of us had the Emperor not saved us?
I don't. Maybe you could enlighten me.
This could have been all of mankind. We were headed down the same path. We were zealots, blinded by religion and believing in myths, until the Emperor showed us the path towards the truth.
And think terror that he did.
I just wish these people would have listened. Saddens me that they think we came here with the intentions of killing them.
I mean,
all
you
we wanted to do was
kinda
show them the
did.
same path that the Emperor showed us.
It was a half intention.
Misguided beliefs in spirits and gods. They felt that they were immortal.
Now they've met true immortals. Don't let this weigh too heavy on your mind. You can rest easy knowing that you brought them the truth.
Loken didn't respond. He was still staring at the pool, seemingly lost in thought.
We're just about done here. The Iterators made contact not too long ago. They were requesting permission to bring the remembrances up here. If you approve, I can inform the Iterator.
Approved. Let them know, and I'll inform the fleet that we're almost finished.
Before either of them could say another word, Loken heard the crackle of his Vox unit.
Captain, can you hear me?
Yes, Jubal, go ahead.
Captain, you need to see this.
What is it that I need to see?
I found him. He's...
Jubal, repeat.
You
found who?
Found who?
It's...
Samus.
It's the end and the death.
I don't understand what you mean.
Yeah, and
Where are you?
And see, now one of your boys comes through the Vox, and now they're whispering sweet nothings to you, brother. I don't know, man. I feel like... I don't know. I just feel like... brother... It's rough to say. Lost his mind, clearly. Yeah, I feel like if somebody comes through and starts whispering sweet nothings like this to you, after, you know, all the Samus is here, oh, we've been hearing voices, oh, there's shrines around, oh, this is weird. I don't know, again, man, how many coincidences before it just becomes fucking suspicious?
My locator is active, Captain. Follow my signal. You need to see this.
Okay, but I need to know what it is you found.
I can see it now, Captain. All of us can. Samus is here.
Like, yeah, what the fuck? The instant I hear that, I'm shitting a brick. In my armor. I don't care.
Stayed behind to destroy the shrine and mop up any remaining insurgents in the fortress.
I don't know
While
about
Loken
devil.
and 5 other lunar
Listen, I don't know about the warp. I don't know about any of this nonsense. I don't know about chaos. I don't give a fuck. I'm browning my armor and we're leaving. That's what we're doing. I'm telling him, no, I don't want to see it. You get your ass back to the rendezvous point. We're getting on the ship. Are the insurgents dead? Cool. Let's leave. Like, we're done here. There's nothing else to see.
Wolves headed towards Jabal's location. Jabal's locator indicated that he was well below them, leading Loken's squad to walk down dark, battered stairs into the basement of the fortress.
What is he doing down here by
It was
himself?
quiet this deep into the heart of the mountain. It had been some time since Loken heard the distant battle sounds that initially echoed throughout the fortress, leading him to believe that the fight was near its conclusion. His locator unit pinged again. Jabal wasn't far now. They reached an iron gate. It was shabbily constructed and showing signs of heavy oxidation. Loken pushed it open and could see Jabal in the distance. He was standing near the edge of a rock. As Loken got closer, he could see that the rock overlooked a ravine. He couldn't tell how far down it went, seeing only darkness below it. Directly in front of Jabal, meltwater ran down the cavern walls.
Jabal, is everything okay?
Jabal stood deathly still, staring straight ahead at the water glistening down the wall in front of him.
Everything is okay. It's more than okay, Captain. Look, it's perfect.
What am I looking at, Xaver?
The message. Read it for yourself, Captain. It's beautiful.
Where? I don't see any message.
It's right in front of you. Look at the words.
Jabal pointed at the wall in front of him, and Loken looked intently at the meltwater as it ran down the wall.
I must be missing something, brother. I don't see any words.
There. Right there. In the water, Captain. They appear. And then they're gone. But they come back. The water, it whisks them away. But then it returns them. Look closer.
Brother, are you feeling all right?
Yeah. It's all around us. I didn't see it either, at first. How could I have missed it? I hear it. I feel it. One name.
Xaver, I think it's time to go.
Jabal finally turned around and stared directly at Loken.
Listen to the water, Captain. Drip, drip, drip. Samos. That's the only name you'll hear.
What the fuck, dude?
Enough, Xaver.
The end and the death.
Sergeant Zelemire, detain him.
Sergeant Zelemire approached Jabal, his hand resting calmly on his bolter.
What are you doing? You're making a mistake. For the love of terror, look! Samus is all around you!
I've heard enough. Where are your men? What happened to the rest of the Hellbore?
Samus is the man beside you. He's in your head, in your mind.
Zelemire was about to reach out and grab him when Jabal suddenly raised his arm up.
Samus stands before you!
Loken had just witnessed something unimaginable. An Astartes had just murdered another in cold blood.
Really?
Jabal, what have you done?
Jabal, I am Samus. Samus will gnaw upon your bones.
Loken tackled Jabal, knocking him to the ground as he tried physically restraining him. 3 of the Astartes that had come with Loken were now dead.
That's crazy.
And the 2 that remained rushed over to help him. Even with 3 Astartes attempting to hold Jabal down, he was still putting up a fight. Jabal punched one of them in the head, his fist striking the ceramite helmet as he rolled away and broke free.
Samus is here. He's all around you.
Loken charged at him again, and was able to rip the bolter out of his hand, tossing it over the rock's edge into the abyss. Jabal didn't miss a beat, and drew his sword. Loken followed suit, and he quickly brought it up to block a swinging attack from Jabal. Any semblance of blade skills that Jabal possessed had been abandoned as he wildly swung his blade. Their swords violently crashed against each other, until Jabal scored a strike by driving his blade into the shoulder plate of Loken's armor.
I am Samus.
Loken absorbed the pain of Jabal's blade driving into his shoulder, but knew that this was his chance to end this. With Jabal's blade firmly stuck in Loken's armor, he seized his opportunity.
There is no more Samus.
Loken's blade punctured through Jabal's armor and punched through his chest, his blade sticking through his back. Blood was running from Loken's mouth. and as he spat out a mouthful of it,
This isn't the
he
first
looked at the
demon
two
they've seen,
Luna
but it's the
wolves
first
who were
possession
staring
they've
at him
seen.
in complete shock.
Get Vipers here. Now.
Fuck, man. Again, what a terrifying, like, concept, though, because, again, they haven't seen anything like this. Now, you guys are saying Gaviel saw demons before this. Now, I guess he just didn't know they're demons, right? It's not public knowledge that demons are a thing, that demons exist. So, although he's maybe come into contact with them, he probably just thinks there's some type of Xenos to some degree. But this is the first time that an Astartes has actually been possessed in that way, like, I guess, physical possession. Very crazy to see. And yeah, where is the rest of his squad, man? Like, that is very disconcerting. It's just him out here by himself. Where did everyone else go? Holy shit, you know? Fucking scary shit, man. First heretic happens long
I thought
before
we were
this
given
does.
permission to go to the combat zone.
We were, but now I'm being told to wait.
Is everything okay?
No.
I'm sure everything is fine, but we can't go now.
Astartes were all around them now, returning to their Stormbirds.
Running
The
with
Remembrancers
speed.
were told that the Luna Wolves were victorious, but she saw no signs of celebration.
Do they normally look this lifeless after victory? I've known them to be rather enthusiastic after a successful mission.
This exercise was not terribly noteworthy, unfortunately. Some rebels hiding out in the mountains. I wouldn't expect a parade in the wake of their victory. I apologize if you were expecting more.
Keeler understood what Cinderman meant, but it didn't feel right. It felt like something was off. The look on Cinderman's face also led her to believe that he wasn't being entirely truthful. Keeler wasn't sure what to do now.
Some weird shit going
He was
on,
beginning to
weird
question why
happenings.
she was down on the surface at all. She had been expecting an amazing opportunity
Weird-looking
to
horned
capture
red-skinned
images that
aliens,
depicted
yeah,
the
exactly.
Astartes' victory.
Yeah,
It
not
now
sus
appeared
at
that
all.
Everything was over.
Don't question
and
it.
There were no indications that she would be able to leave the safe zone in the village. While she stood speaking with another remembrancer, an Astartes approached and spoke to them.
I'm looking for Master Cinderman. I have been sent by Captain Loken. Do you happen to know where he is?
That would be me. I am Cinderman.
I'm going to need you to come with me.
Is everything okay?
Follow me, please. We can discuss further with Captain Loken.
The two scurried away, walking into the direction of the Whisperhead Mountains.
What do you think that was all about?
Who knows? We could find out, though.
Oh, yeah?
Follow them? That seems kind of risky.
Isn't this why we came here? It wasn't that long ago that Cinderman told us they were almost ready for us. The others are leaving, and I haven't heard anything in ages now. No gunshots, no explosions. I think it's safe now. What's the worst that could happen?
You get
Bradstreet
fucking killed or
shrugged,
worse.
and they
What the
started
fuck?
walking in the direction of the
What's the
iterator.
worst that could happen? What the fuck kind of a question is that? What's the worst that could happen? That is some... What? What kind of, like, who says that shit? What? Worst that could happen? You get the fuck out of here with that question. Like, what? Excuse the fuck me?
Cinderman couldn't believe his eyes.
Is
The
this
destruction
Skyrim?
to the fortress,
This is a screenshot
the
from
amount of
Skyrim.
blood on the floors and walls, the sheer number of slain enemy corpses. Standing before a crowd and iterating about the importance of truth was one thing, but seeing the aftermath of its delivery was another thing altogether. Cinderman had been an iterator for decades, but this was the first time he had ever stepped foot onto a battlefield prior to it being cleaned up. He had never witnessed such brutality
You know what
before.
state you're living at? What's the worst that could happen?
Almost
Like,
there,
yeah,
sir.
literally. Like, what the fuck kind
I
of question,
understand
bro?
You need to shield your eyes.
What the hell?
Terror.
Cinderman was overwhelmed by what he was seeing. They walked down the steps towards the basement and through the rusted iron gate. Loken was surrounded by 10 Luna Wolves. He looked up and glanced over to his men.
I need to speak with Master Cinderman.
The Luna Wolves acknowledged their captain's words and filed out of the cavernous room.
Nero, don't wander too far.
I will be right outside.
Cinderman looked down and saw the lifeless body of Xavier Jabal on the ground.
I thought that I understood what you Astartes did, what you were capable of. But seeing it with my own eyes...
Now is not the time for this.
And I was told that this was a clean victory? That we hadn't even suffered a wound?
Cinderman's eyes were fixated on Jabal's corpse.
What happened to him?
That's the very question I would like to ask you.
I'm sorry?
This is Xavier Jubal. Was Xavier Jubal. I must report on what happened, but I can't comprehend it.
Tell me, Garviel. Tell me what happened.
You'll call me a heretic if I
What I'm
did?
about to tell you is completely confidential. It can never be spoken of.
You have my word. Please, Garviel, go on.
I lost 3 men today.
Skyrim's canon and
The
Warhammer?
entirety
Yeah,
of
maybe.
Hellboar Squad. Another 7 are missing.
How is this possible? The others I've spoken to, they didn't have but a scratch on their armor.
My men were murdered. Not by the enemy. They were murdered by Xavier Jubal.
Cinderman was dumbfounded. He shook his head, closing his eyes and rubbing his face with his hands.
Can you please repeat what you just said to me? Because what you just said, you are inferring that...
I infer nothing. I saw it with my own eyes. He killed them, all 3 of them, right in front of me.
It's possible, Garviel, that this was a mistake. In the heat of battle, that he mistook them for enemies.
No. No, there's
There
no
were
mistake.
No enemies. It was only Xavier in this room. He summoned me, said he needed to show me something, and then he fired upon his brothers at point-blank range. This was no accident. He was possessed. He was no longer Xavier Jubal.
Garviel, I need you to calm down. I am trying to understand this just like you are. But we will not stoop to such levels as to use spiritual words.
I like how that's what what a bitch. Cinderman's telling Garviel to calm down. Garviel, don't say the S word. Spiritual, calm down. Like that's so jokes, man. Like what? Son of a bitch.
But we will not stoop to such
What
levels
did you
as
just
to
say?
use spiritual words.
Do you know what he said?
Garviel, you better watch your mouth.
He said he wasn't
spiritual.
Jubal.
Oh.
He said,
What?
I am Samus.
Cinderman felt his stomach drop, and his face turned white.
God? Yeah, literally.
Familiar with the name, are you?
Of course I am, Garviel. Scare tactics. You said it yourself.
Iterator, I hold a great deal of respect for you. I'm going to ask you this one time, and I need you to be completely honest with me. The spirit's real?
No. I can tell you unequivocally, spirits do not exist.
Could they exist?
No. Without question, no. Absolutely not.
I studied the archives, Kyrell. I read through the history of the world. These mountains, the Whisperheads. There were writings of a demon that existed here. One that was held prisoner in these very mountains. The mountains where you and I are standing right now. That demon's name was Samus.
I've studied the same archives. I read the same myths as you. Strange, unusual events do happen, but there is always a rational explanation.
Yeah,
Our
rational.
time amongst the stars has proven it. This is a tragedy. Some terrible blunder, but I assure you that we will find a rational explanation.
I'm really not sure about that, Kyrell. And Hastati starts referring to himself as an ancient demon. Tells me that he is the end and the death.
Yeah.
And he draws a weapon and kills 3 of his brothers. And you want to tell me that there's a rational explanation?
Okay, well, I'm glad that there was finally a straw that broke the camel's back, and it was the fact that fucking, like, Kyrell lost his fucking mind there, or Jubal lost his fucking mind there, I guess. So I'm glad that he finally is now willing to admit, like, yeah, there's a lot of fucking suspicious shit that has occurred, finally, right? I'm sad that it took that long for him to deem it suspicious, but I am glad that he is finally like, yeah, okay, you know, I was willing to say scare tactic, fucking Hanoi Hannah to a degree, whatever have you, right? But this just doesn't happen. Also, how the hell would Jubal know about a Samus character? Why would he know about this Samus character, right? Like, all too weird, all way too coincidental, that's for sure.
I need to hear what that is.
Well, it seems your mind is made up then, isn't it? If you would listen to me, I can explain. I can rationalize this for you.
Wait until Horus
Loken
explains
said
it to
nothing
him.
in response, and Cinderman knelt down in front of Jabal's helmetless body, looking closely at it. Patterns of deformations and discolored moles were visible on his skin. The flesh on his neck and face had shriveled. It looked as if he had been dead for years.
See these? These impurities all over his face?
I do.
What I see is evidence of a disease.
A disease?
A virus that Xavier could have contracted.
Astartes cannot contract such viruses. We're too resilient.
Astartes are not resistant to everything. It is certainly not impossible for an Astartes to be infected with a terrible disease.
But why an Astartes, and not any of the Imperial soldiers? And why only him?
I don't see it out of the realm of possibility that his gene code was flawed.
He was acting as if he was possessed, as if he wasn't in control of his own body.
And maybe he wasn't, but that doesn't mean he was possessed. If a plague was developing inside of him and his brain was compromised by this virus, he could have simply been repeating words he had been hearing. The enemy has been flooding the Vox frequencies relentlessly with this Samus nonsense. It's feasible that Xavier was sick, and that was the last thing he heard before he was too far gone.
Loken exhaled deeply, looking relieved as he turned his head towards Cinderman.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Cinderman's explanation right now, like, again, if you're, not going for, like, hindsight's a bitch, of course, right? But his explanation right now in terms of this isn't terrible, All right, maybe it was some fucking mind-rattling disease, maybe a flaw in his gene seed. He wasn't as resilient as we thought it was. We're down in these ancient caverns. Perhaps he touched something he didn't. Maybe he got an infected wound. I don't know, right? Maybe his mind just, was frail, and that was the last thing he heard, Okay, whatever. That's actually, you know what, Cinderman, that's a stomachable explanation, at least. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt that is a reasonable explanation. Fair enough.
Loken exhaled deeply, looking relieved as he turned his head towards Cinderman.
Iterator, I'm relieved that I asked you to come here. This does make sense.
This is awful. A true catastrophe. But demons...
It makes sense, but how did the voices in the heads, the girl also hear it? She doesn't seem insane. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, the whole voices, there's no explanation for that at all. But purely just for, Jubal losing his mind, right? Acting possessed. He's got, deformities on his face. Maybe, they're describing the state of his body here a little bit. From Cinderman as, a third party. Because he's seen all this, Samus nonsense as well. He's aware of it. He's like, okay, he hasn't seen, he's just coming in as a third party and observing the corpse and trying to make sense of this, right? So from his perspective, it's not a radical explanation, right? He's just trying to make sense of it. And the best way he can, I get it,
A true catastrophe. But demons, spirits, they had nothing to do with it. May I suggest that we quarantine this area immediately and have a Medicaid unit study
the
this at once.
explanations given are plausible in the moment, but
He
yeah,
looked at the
hindsight's a
cold,
bitch. Yeah,
dead
exactly.
corpse of Jabal.
Exactly. From
His
just
thoughts
Cinderman
turned to
looking at this,
sadness at how an unexplained disease could
what
have caused
else
such
is
a
he gonna
terrible
say,
mishap.
right?
But before Cinderman could formulate another thought, Jabal's yellow, bloodshot eyes opened wide.
Oh, fuck.
And he lifted his head off the rock's surface.
Samus is here.
Okay, see, now at that point, when that happens, right? I'm just saying now, the explanation starts to have some holes in it, right? When the fucking corpse comes alive and starts talking, right? Yeah, at that point, right? Cinderman probably is wide-eyed, fucking backing away slowly, disease? Fucking runs away. Like, I don't know. Yeah, dude, fuck. Would you like to make a second opinion? Yeah, dude. Yeah, my pants are brown either way. Yeah, I'd shit myself. Like, there's no fucking way. There's in no scenario would I see that and be like, yeah, okay, yeah. Like, he gave a rational explanation, then that happens. That's out the fucking window. There's no rationality here, man. Like, it's a whole new fucking ball game, man. Holy fuck.
This is horrible.
It's worse than I ever could have imagined.
What did you guys see now?
The Remembrancers that so badly wanted to experience this, to see the reality of a war zone instead of a safe, curated tour that withheld what war actually looked like. Now, they would have rather not come at all.
What the fuck you...
Witnessing it firsthand was horrific. The stench was overpowering, and laying eyes on the outcome of what had happened in this fortress was so vile that Keeler had barely captured any images at all.
I don't know if I can do this. I couldn't imagine even looking at images of this. It would feel indecent.
We're not doing this for us. We're here for everyone who isn't here to see it themselves.
I know, but I'm not sure anyone should see this.
Despite Bradstreet's reluctance, they both carried on. She refused to take pics of any of the slumped-over bodies, but she documented everything else. The blood on the walls, the mounds of spent ammunition on the ground, the evidence of war. Somewhere along the way, they had lost track of where they were going, and they were now walking down multiple sets of stairs that the insurgents had constructed.
I'm just saying, like, imagine wanting to, like, go to a war zone and then being shocked when you see a war zone. Like, how naive, man. Like, it must be fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just saying, like, bodies killed by Astartes weapons would be gruesome. Oh, yeah. Like they would be in multiple pieces at that point, right? But, like, still, right? Like, you know what's going on, right? Like, you know what's happening. Like, this isn't, you know, they're not making love to their enemies here, right? Like, they're coming in here to blow them apart, right? To kill them. I don't know. Throughout history, that's a common occurrence, I guess, but it's like, I would have thought these people would have had a little bit more, I guess, hindsight into the methods of war, you know?
And they were now walking down multiple sets of stairs that the insurgents had constructed. The deeper they descended into the heart of the mountain, the more weary the two of them began to feel. A group of Imperial soldiers walked by them carrying body bags of fallen enemies. The soldiers gave them a sideways glance as they passed, but they didn't say anything.
I think we should turn around, Euphrates. If we get caught here, we could get kicked off the crusade.
Keeler wasn't saying it, but she felt just as uncomfortable as Bradstreet.
Maybe you're right, but I don't even know how to get back. We've walked for so long in here.
You got lost?
We'll just follow those soldiers.
Okay, let's go. What was that?
Jabal stood up, and Cinnamon screamed louder than he ever had in his life. Loken lunged at him, but Jabal punched him in the chest and knocked him to the ground.
I like how Cinderman instantly is just shitting himself, screaming. I would be too, man. I don't blame him. Like, yeah, like you're like, like that should not be happening. You know, I actually don't blame the guy at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's sitting here trying to give a rational explanation. I need a second opinion. Okay, sure. Here it is. And then just this fucking corpse comes alive. Like, yeah, there's nothing, you know, there's no disease that can do that. It's not, yeah. I could see how this could easily poke a hole in your rationale. You know what I'm saying?
Loken lunged at him, but Jabal punched him in the chest and knocked him to the ground. Loken and Cinderman looked on in horror as Jabal's armor began to crack. He was changing before their very eyes, morphing into some sort of monstrous creature. As his body expanded, his armor fell to the ground, revealing flesh that had changed colors and turned sickly blue.
Damn.
His face had been distorted and now barely resembled that of Xavier Jabal. Vipus heard the commotion and ran into the chamber, confused in alarm as to what monstrosity was standing in front of him. Loken fired a bolt round into the horrifying beast, striking it in the shoulder. The round tore into his arm and made a sickening noise as it exploded. But the thing that Jabal had become shrugged the shot off and continued stomping forward. Vipus stood in the doorway and tried to steady his bolt pistol's aim, but the beast grabbed Cinderman with both arms and violently threw him into Vipus.
Damn, dude.
They were both writhing on the ground in pain, and they watched in complete horror as Jabal marched through the entry gate and into the corridor outside of the chamber.
Wait a second, why was Vipus so, like, thrown off by that? Like, no offense, but, like, he just had a regular human, like, thrown into him. I get it, right? But, like, I feel like you should be able to take that, right? Like, come on now. Come on.
Gate and into the corridor outside of the chamber.
Writhing in pain? Vipus, I think you were rolling with that one a little too hard, I'm not gonna lie.
Bradstreet tried to scream, but couldn't muster a sound. He tried to turn and run, but lost his balance and fell backwards. The colossal being that was running towards them didn't appear real, its physical form twisting and blurring with light. Keeler was holding her picture before she had heard the scream, and she never let go of it, even as the horrific thing was now only meters away. Out of pure instinct, she snapped pics of the disgusting, surreal creature. She wanted to run, but she couldn't move. Unable to take her eyes off of what was once Jabal, she was utterly immobilized. Flashes of yellow light surrounded him as he moved, making his motions look like a glitching pic feed that was sped up too fast. She watched her reach out and lift Bradstreet into the air. The horrid creature raised his arms up and smashed Bradstreet into the cavernous ceiling, shattering his bones and exploding his body into pieces.
My fucking god!
There was nothing more Keeler could do.
Holy
this was the end,
shit!
She had accepted it.
He's dead just like that? That's how fucking Bradstreet goes out, dude? Oh my god. Just picked up and fucking Hulk smashed into the ceiling? Exploded? Pink misted? Bro, what? What a way to go out. Are they running away, or are they just standing there in disbelief watching this fucking thing lumber towards them? Like, holy shit, dude. Like, I would not be standing still at this point. I'd be running as quick as I can. Also, she's sitting here taking pictures of this thing, dude. Can you imagine, like, the controversy this would cause if these pics got leaked to the Imperium as a whole? That'd be crazy shit, man. That would be some, that would be some, that would be some inhibition opening for sure.
There was nothing more Keeler could do. This was the end, and she had accepted it.
Welcome to Game Workshop
Before
Side
she
Character
surrendered
Life.
to her
Stood there
imminent
frozen
death,
in pure
she
terror.
fell to her knees and made the sign of the Aquila. With tears running down her face,
Run away!
she closed her eyes and waited for the darkness to consume her.
Well, I'm guessing, well, she got saved. We know she lives, right? But, like, I hate how they just fucking sit there and take it, dude. Like, what? Like, you would not catch me just
Are you
fucking
absolutely
standing
sure?
still like that.
Yes, Ezekiel. I'm sure.
This is important, Garville. There cannot be even the tiniest scrap of doubt.
I killed it, there is no doubt. It took over 100 rounds from Vipers and I, firing on full auto. It collapsed and burst into pieces. And we scorched the remains with flamers. There was nothing left.
Who knows about this?
Myself, Cinderman, Nero, and a remembrancer, Euphrates Keeler.
And no one else saw it? You're certain?
There were others who saw it, but they're dead now.
Oh.
What did you say about this?
I said nothing, Ezekiel. I didn't know what to say. I still don't.
Following the incident with Jabal, Abaddon came to meet with Loken privately in the village of Kashiri. The two of them were alone in a longhouse, and Abaddon grabbed a chair and pulled it over so he could sit next to Loken.
Garville, I want you to know how proud I am of you. You handled this exceptionally well. But I need to know, before Jubal turned into whatever it was that he became, who else knew of the Lunar Wolves being murdered?
More of my men. 2 of them saw it happen, and there were others that I spoke to about it. I sought their advice.
Okay, we can keep this under control. Get me their names. I will handle them. This terrible thing that happened, it must remain confidential. The official word will be that of a successful strike where we stood victorious. We eliminated the insurgents, but suffered losses in 2 squads. In spite of these losses, 6319 is fully compliant. Do you trust the Iterator? He can never speak of this.
I trust him. He won't say a word.
And what about the Remembrancer?
Yeah.
Keela, I don't know her. She's still in shock. She didn't speak much.
Say less.
The
We'll kill her.
thing was about to tear to shreds before we killed it. She doesn't know what attacked her. She didn't see Jubal change. I told her it was a wild beast.
This is good news. I'll speak with her myself.
A wild beast.
I'll mention this
wearing the
wild
armor
beast
of a Luna
and
wolf.
explain that this must not be spoken of. The other Remembrancers cannot find out about this.
How do we explain the death of the other Remembrancer?
That can be explained easily. He didn't utilize his rebreather correctly and fell sick from the altitude. Or we can claim an accident with the lander ship upon deployment. I'll take care of that.
Tell me, Ezekiel, am I expected to forget that this ever happened? Because I refuse to do that.
No one is expecting you to forget what happened, but this is a military matter, and disclosing it publicly is a security risk. And think of the damage it would do to morale.
It's true.
A door opened behind them, and someone entered the longhouse. Loken had only briefly spoken with Vipus after they had burned the remains of Jabal, and he was expecting him to join the conversation with Abaddon. But he was caught by surprise when he heard the voice behind him speak.
Horus.
Ezekiel, I'd like to speak with Gavio alone.
Loken immediately jumped to his feet to salute his war master, but Horus motioned with his hand to sit down. Abaddon left the room, and Horus took his place in the chair beside Loken.
You're troubled, Gavio. I see it on your face.
Time for the cover-up story? Oh God.
Lord.
I want you to let go of these troubles.
I want to, sir, but I haven't been able to. I have failed you, and I feel great shame.
You failed me? How so?
Luna Wolves died. A remembrancer, too. Even worse, he died at the hands of one of our own.
Well, if a remembrancer died, then it's not total loss, am I right, guys? Sorry.
Even worse, he died at the hands of one of our own.
Gavio, you swore an oath of moment before you came here, did you not?
I did, Lord.
Did you stay true to your oath? Did you bring death to the insurgents of this world, and bring it to compliance?
Yes, I did.
When Jubal turned and transformed into some horrific monster, did you run? Did you cower in fear? Or did you stand up to it, putting your life on the line?
I fought it, but I did brown my armor a tiny bit.
I did not
admittedly,
cower,
Horus.
I fought for my brothers.
And therefore,
Cinderman as well.
You did not fail me. You did not fail anyone. So you must rid yourself of shame and worry.
Horus slid back in his chair, then stood up and slowly walked to the other side of the room.
I spoke with Kirill Sinderman.
It's very weird for me to picture like rooms and shit, right? Because like they're just in some house, right? So these Astartes were sitting on these chairs. It's like, do they just conveniently have like a Primarch shaped chair in fucking every room that a Primarch needs to sit in, or like an Astartes height chair for like, you know, every time an Astarte is in this room? Like, I feel like these are just normal human chairs, and I feel like a fucking Primarch would absolutely fucking snap that thing like a twig if he sat in it. Like, what the fuck? Like, that is crazy shit, man. Is it not? Like, is that just me?
Slowly walked to the other side of the room.
I spoke
like what?
with Kirill Sinderman.
Another strongest chair? Like, yeah, like literally, right? Like, yeah. That's what it is, right?
He told me what he saw.
Like, also, they're in their armor. They must weigh like half a fucking ton. Like, unironically.
To speak of before.
Some wooden chair, some wooden stool is holding them. Like, no.
Demons. He was concerned about what he saw, and that you shared those concerns.
He told me it was a sickness, a virus of some sort, and I thought that to be true. But then, he turned into something else. he wasn't Jubal.
They have incredibly snatched waists,
I
oh
believe
god.
that what I saw was a demon.
Yikes.
You saw no such thing.
You didn't see that.
I can tell you exactly what you saw.
Lord?
What I'm about to tell you is not known by many. I know of it, and the Emperor does too. It is a secret, and you must never share it.
I understand, Lord.
What you saw was the warp.
The warp?
I've seen what the warp has done in its dark dimensions. You have as well.
So he's giving him a half-truth here, in a sense.
I've seen the warp have terrible effects before, but not on an Hastatis.
What that tells me is that you do not understand the full mechanism of the warp.
Well, no, we're not told about it.
Lord.
Nor do I. Nor does anyone. Not even the Emperor, beloved by all. The warp is so vital to us, Garviel. To communicate and to travel the stars. The warp is powerful. More powerful than we can even understand. Its powers are not good or evil, but elemental.
Horus had been pacing back and forth as he spoke, and he returned to his seat next to Loken.
That word you used, demon, it implies sorcery. It implies gods. These are words that we no longer use. We don't like what they represent. But they are only words.
Yeah, we don't like what that
What
represents.
you saw today. Pick your word, Garviel. Spirit, demon, whatever you please, but understand the meaning of the word.
As in, the warp.
That's right. Think of the inhuman decay that we have faced off against. Orcs, Eldar, Gaikon. We use the word Xenos or alien, but they are not organic beings. The way they influence our reality seems supernatural.
What?
The galaxy is inconceivable.
They are not organic
vast,
beings. Well, I mean,
and
they
there are plenty of
kinda are.
strange, non-human creatures that oppose us. But that doesn't mean that they're evil. There are no gods, no spirits, no higher powers with evil intent.
They are? Like, yeah, I thought they, like, those are definitely organic beings. I don't...
than to destroy.
Lord, I've seen psychers become corrupted while traveling through the warp, but I've never seen an Hastatis change like that. I've never seen anything even resembling what I saw today, and on the surface of a world, no less.
Garviel, it does happen.
Loken said nothing, but his face wore a look of dismay.
I'm sure you will find this hard to believe. We don't openly speak of it, but it has happened. The warp can infiltrate anyone or anything if it desires. Men have found ways of controlling the warp before, and the insurgents on this planet have done the same. It is unfortunate that Jubal had to fall victim to their warp manipulations.
But out of anyone, why Jubal?
It seems to me that he would have been more vulnerable than anyone. He felt passed over, and because of this he was upset. He allowed his emotions to get the best of him, and his guard was down. Because of this, he was weak. The powers of the warp exploit weakness.
It's kind of making sense, though.
Once they sense it, they attack it.
Like, obviously, again, hindsight's a bitch, but...
He was referring to himself.
He's explaining it to in a way that someone who doesn't know could make sense of, I guess.
The demon that was held prisoner in the Whisperheads. I read the same thing. A myth, of course. The Whisperheads are closer to the warp than you realize, Garviel.
I was not aware, Lord.
Ingmei Singh, the mistress of astropaths, informed me of something that you may find interesting. Shortly after 10th Company disembarked, this very region experienced a substantial warp spike. This is not a loose theory or hypothesis, it is hard data. I don't doubt for a moment that the people of this world believed that they were harnessing magic, but it is warp energy.
Why would this have been kept from us, Lord? Why have we not been informed about the warp?
Because the warp is something that we barely understand ourselves. Do you know why the Emperor chose me to be the War Master?
Because of your strength and intelligence, Lord. You are War Master.
Kind of makes sense. Welcome to True Gaslighting. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, because he's telling him a half-truth, right? He's not telling him the full truth here, but he's telling him enough where it's like, okay, I guess that could make sense. But he's also admitting that, like, he doesn't know, too. We don't know what it is, but we know that it's the warp, okay? But we don't know exactly. Listen, the demon spirit, call it what you will, okay? But know that it's this, okay? And there's no other debate about it, okay? That's pure and simple, all right? So it's enough to go off of to, like, make somebody who is on the fence, like, believe you, I guess. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't have that hindsight knowledge, of course, or didn't know for sure.
War Master because of your ability to lead and influence.
No. The truth is more simple. I am War Master because the Emperor is busy. He has returned to Terra because he is working on something of utmost importance. After we were victorious on Ulanor, he told me that he could now leave the crusade to the Primarchs.
What is it that he is working on?
He didn't tell anyone, not even me. But I have my theories.
He said that through gritted teeth.
The Imperium would not be here if not for the war.
Didn't even tell me.
We know almost nothing about it. I am of the belief that the Emperor is attempting to change this. I believe that he is attempting to learn it, to master its powers. He has come to the realization that without fully understanding the powers of the warp, the Imperium will collapse.
What if he can't master the warp?
He can.
And what if we can't carry the crusade without him, and we fail?
We won't.
Loken sat alone in his arming chamber on the vengeful spirit. It was usually quiet here, but this time it was different. The weight of the silence was unsettling. Losing a brother in battle was always a tragedy, but the magnitude of what had occurred on 6319 loomed relentlessly in Loken's mind, straining at his every thought.
Captain Loken, may I come in?
The sound of Mercedes' voice snapped Loken out of a momentary daze, and he looked up at her as he spoke.
Yes, come in.
Captain, I hope that I'm not interrupting anything.
You're not?
I wanted to apologize to you.
Apologize? What for?
You vouched for me, Captain. You put my name forward as a candidate to go to the surface and document what happens on the battlefield. It was an opportunity that I could never thank you enough for. But I am ashamed that I squandered it. Something happened to one of my friends, and because of that, I didn't make it.
Remembrancer, it is extremely fortuitous that you didn't make it.
Truly.
Loken turned his head away from Mercedy and began polishing his armor once again.
Captain, there was another reason I came to speak to you. You see, I mentioned that something happened to my friend, Ignace Carcassy. Perhaps you know him?
He's dead.
I don't.
Well, he made a mistake. He did something rather foolish, and he's now found himself in a bit of trouble.
Oh, is he alive still?
I'm reluctant to ask for your help, but you are in a position of great influence, and I believe you could help him.
Go on.
Thank you for being willing to listen to me. It means a great deal to me, but I feel silly, Captain. I am a remembrancer. Before I ask anything of you...
Everything is okay.
You just get roofied? What the fuck?
Perfect.
Ah!
There are no gods.
Drugs? Yeah, like what? The fuck?
Samus is here.
Holy shit, dude.
Captain Loken, before I ask anything of you, I should be remembering your victorious campaign. Do you want to tell me about what happened on the surface?
No, I don't.
Damn, dude. Wow. Holy shit. That was a strong finish, I'm not gonna lie. That was cool. Holy shit. That was a really strong finish. To be continued. Hot damn. Wow. Damn, dude. Man, that was fantastic. Holy shit. And again, like, big credit to all these voice actors in here, man. Again, this is probably gonna be copyrighted music at the end here, but this was fantastic to see. So many people involved. Holy shit. So many people involved. And again, it wasn't just like the voice actors involved, like the independent voice actors. It's also, you know, you have like a 3D animation aspect of it, you know, sound design aspect of it, Evolve Audio, Venus Theory. Great to see. Yeah, great to see there. Holy shit. Like full on production level shit here. That was fantastic. We're gonna pause it there though, guys. But yeah, that was Horus Rising Act 1, Path of the Luna Wolves. Let me just see real quick here. If I open up his videos, I don't know how many parts there are. Let's just see real quick here. Horus Rising, Path of the Luna Wolves, Act 1. That was 6 months ago. I don't know if there's any other parts. I'm gonna have to look that up in the meantime here. But holy shit, that was great to see. I really enjoyed that. The quality put into that, the level of detail, you know, the amount of different voice actors they had. It truly felt that you were getting like a full like movie experience there almost a little bit. So I really can't say enough good things about that. I thought that was fantastic. Even the way they did like text box and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the way they did conversations where you can like, you got the clear narration and then you have right after that, you know, you have text box and all that for each of the characters. I think that's fantastic too, man. What a great job by Warrior 2 here. Big shout out to him and everyone else that was involved in this works. You know, again, we had a lot of people involved in this. That was awesome to see. If Samus isn't there, then people should be asking, where's Samus? True. Part 2 is out now? Is it out now? Okay. We'll have to... oh, yeah, literally right here. Duh. Okay, yeah, right there. It was literally top recommended 2 months ago. Okay. The Emperor's Children, Act 2. Okay, shit, yeah. Well, that might be on the poll next week. In fact, I think it definitely will have to be. Because damn, dude, I really enjoyed this. I thought this was fantastic. If you guys enjoyed this stream, guys, make sure you guys hit that like button because it does help out a ton. And if you're not subscribed, man, missing out, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it as always, guys. If you guys, if you guys enjoyed, yeah, hit that like button. Big thank you to all of our members, all of our Hastati, our Triarii, and our Prefect Dagenhart, of course, our Principes, Hobbit and Fear. I appreciate you guys. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day. And yeah, with that, guys, I say we're probably gonna end the stream here. Just shy, well, 4 hours long, I guess. I know I had a bit of a longer intermission at the start there, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, without any further delay, we're gonna end the video off here. Yeah, this has been Centurion, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.